to preserve and to make our people safe. Drilling is only one aspect of the cooperation that you're going to see amongst us. I say amongst us because it extends beyond the police force. It also includes the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, the Immigration, and the Prison Department. You're going to find that you are part of a strong, uniform company in the Bahamas. And so it's good that you are learning early that you must be disciplined. You must learn how to drill, because beyond collecting revenue, you also must participate in national events. I need not mention that Independence celebration is going to be in July, and I'm going to be looking forward for most of you to be a part of custom contingent. And so today, I want to thank the Royal Bahamas Police Force, Commissioner, for assisting us in this regard. I want to thank all of you trainee customs officers who demonstrate so smartly your commitment to this country and your willingness to be a part of a disciplined uniform branch.
That is all for this week. Thank you for joining us. Join us every Wednesday as we continue to bring you coverage, highlights, and information as we continue to do what we do best, linking people and government.
Breast cancer is the leading cause of cancer deaths in the Bahamas and in Bahamian women. At present, we are unable to prevent breast cancer, but performing screening mammograms can detect breast cancer at its earliest when there are no symptoms and when it is more likely to be treated successfully. All women should have a primary health care provider who is aware of their medical history, family history, and risk factors. Women 40 to 45 years can choose whether to start screening in consultation with their physician. All women 45 to 54 years should have an annual mammogram. Women older than 55 years can have a yearly mammogram or choose to have one every 2 years. Monthly breast self-exams in conjunction with the mammogram can increase the odds of early detection. Be proactive about your health.
After 66 steps, I'm Matea Cunningham. This is ZNS.
It's What's Trending with Jiminita Swain and the Bahama Beauty at the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas. From Studio A. It all starts right now.
We are halfway to Friday and the week isn't slowing down. It's February 25th and this is What's Trending. I'm Jiminita Swain. Let's get into the stories that have everyone talking. She started with a love for tourism. Now she's leading global communications. How'd she do it? We got the story that's coming up on Bahamian Footprints. When men cheat, it's often excused. When women cheat, it's condemned. So why the double standard? We're diving into the psychology behind sweethearting. And lastly, lights low, music high, and the divas bringing down the house. We're inside the John Batiste Jazz Club at Bahamar, where every note hits different. We'll take a quick pause, but don't go far. More What's Trending is coming up.
Taking the lead on the latest global campaign, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, the Honorable I. Chester Cooper, as well as Director General Batia Duncombe, brought the islands of the Bahamas to the heart of Washington, D.C.
We're here in D.C., and we've done perhaps 25 cities across the USA and Canada and around the world since we've started this process a few years ago. We're excited to be here because this is an important area for us in the D.C., Maryland, Virginia area. And the reality is that we have many guests who come from this area to the islands of the Bahamas. They are repeat visitors. Almost 40% come back again and again. And this is exciting for us. We want always to share what's new and exciting about the islands of the Bahamas and how accessible DC is to the Bahamas and how accessible the Bahamas is from DC. 2 times a day, non-stop flights direct from DCA to Nassau, and an opportunity to hop to the other islands of the Bahamas.
We have great connectivity from this area into the destination. There's American to Ronald Reagan, there's Dulles with United, and then Baltimore, there's Southwest, so connectivity is certainly there. We find that this market leans into the destination for everything that it has to offer, from our groups and conferences, meetings, to the luxury component, to the outer islands. The islands of the Bahamas just has everything to offer and certainly very attractive to the DMV area. It's not just one island, it's a lifetime of islands. And it will take you a lifetime to truly enjoy the islands of the Bahamas. Very excited to be here today.
For more tourism updates, visit Tourism Today or Bahamas.com. I'm Michael Miller, and this is Tourism Today.
What does it take to go from loving tourism to leading global communications? Drive, dedication, and a whole lot of Bahamian pride.
Bahamian Footprints, presented by Coca-Cola.
She's a dynamic young professional who has steadily risen through the ranks of tourism, now serving as Global Communications Director with the Ministry of Tourism, Investments, and Aviation. It's a role that carries tremendous responsibility, strategy, and international visibility, and it's one that Ray Demeritte appears to navigate with confidence and clarity. She joins us now to share her journey and what this milestone truly means. Ray, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
It's great to have you here with us. So take us back to the start. When you first joined the Ministry of Tourism, what role did you begin in, and what were those early days like?
Well, when I first joined tourism, I came in as the Senior Manager of Domestic Communication. And what experience that was, because I've learned so much about the ministry. I don't think people really truly understand the depth of how deep tourism truly goes, the departments and all of these people that create this ecosystem that makes this a well-oiled machine. So those are really good days, good learning days.
So what initially attracted you to tourism and public service? Was this always a part of your career vision?
You know, I thought I was going to be a Broadway actress. Funny enough, that did not turn out that way for me. I actually ended up falling in love with tourism when I joined Sandals and their social media team. And I saw what a fun job it was. There was so many interesting people, and I like to move around and travel. So that was happening. It was just moving from island to island, having this great time. And from there, I took everything that I learned and went over to the Ministry of Tourism. There was an opportunity there, and the rest is just history.
And you continue to grow, so you've grown with the organization, and you now serve as the Global Communications Director. What were some pivotal moments or opportunities that helped shape your upward journey?
Well, I would say one of them was moving to New York and actually changing departments completely. I was in sales and marketing, so I learned a lot about the business of tourism as well. But more so, I had a lot of people, mentors in the ministry that poured into me and helped to shape my direction and understanding. And I'm forever grateful for them. And they are still around too. So I knock on their door all the time anytime I need some advice.
Well, that's definitely helpful. So for viewers who may not fully understand, what does a Global Communications Director actually do on a day-to-day basis?
You know, it's funny enough, I get that question all the time. So essentially, the day-to-day is just different. It's a mixture of execution and strategy. So I work with a large team, and we're responsible for really making sure that the brand is authentic and true wherever you go, whether you're in the United States, Canada, China, UK. So whether that's managing, interviews or great opportunities, and I also oversee social media, so making sure that our content is authentic and true to who we are. My everyday, the goal is to make sure that the Bahamas is always best represented.
So what
I
do
think
you
that's a long and short.
That is definitely a mouthful. So what do you enjoy most about the work that you do?
Wow, that's a good question because there's so many things. But I think the number one thing is being surrounded by people who are powered by country. And what do I mean by that? We are all very passionate about tourism and passionate about what it does and brings to the Bahamian people. That's probably number one for me.
That's key. So what would you then say to young Bahamians, particularly young women who aspire to leadership roles in industries like tourism?
I would say we need you. Get into this business. We need people, women especially, who are creative and smart. And I know we got all that girl power, so get into the industry, learn and absorb as much as you can from those around you, and study the course. You got this.
And beyond your effervescent personality and professional accomplishment, what's one thing people might be surprised to learn about you?
That I'm shy.
I'm surprised.
No, nobody's gonna believe that. Nobody's gonna believe that.
No one.
The one thing that people don't know is that I'm a huge gamer.
Oh.
I play like Nintendo Switch. I play PS5. I love video games. I play them all the time. Also, I build book notes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's my little hobby.
Nice. So
Yeah.
I guess my next question was gonna be, how do you spend your free time? So is that gaming, or you do something else in your free time?
I also read because I spend a lot of time writing, so I like to try to expand my vocabulary. So reading is a big part of my everyday as well. I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to read a chapter in a book every hour. Every day.
Sense.
Sorry. Yeah.
I like that.
So the book that I'm reading now is like The Handmaiden's Tale, which is actually very interesting.
And it's actually a series as well, so that's interesting for Drew. I like that. So that's two things I learned about you today. That's cool. So then, what is your favorite Bahamian island to travel to, and why?
See, okay, now this is a trick question because I don't have one. I have 16. You see what I did there?
I see what you did there. Very creative. We pay you well.
If I have to give a shout out to any island, though, it is Abaco, because that is where I spent most of my summers growing up. My heart, my soul, my family is there. So big up to Abaco, but I always choose Abaco, but all 16 islands first.
I with you on that one. I want to say thank you for sharing your journey and for the work you continue to do in elevating the Bahamas on the global stage. It was definitely a pleasure.
Thank you. Pleasure was mine. This was fun. Am I what's trending?
Of course.
You see what I did there too?
I am.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. More What's Trending is after the break.
Bang ding. Ding bang ding. Ding ding bang. Bang bang bang. Ding bang ding. Ding bang ding. Ding ding bang. Bang bang bang. Ding bang ding. Ding bang ding. Ding bang ding. Ding ding bang.
Hi, I'm Brent Burrows, Vice President of Retail and Sales here at CBS Bahamas, where we help you to build beautiful. When it comes to outfitting your new home with beautiful architectural products, we represent prestigious brands such as PGT, Gelwin, Steelcraft, and Overhead Door. If you're looking for new windows or doors, custom made for your new house, be sure to email us at sales@cbsbahamas.com.
Sweethearting has long been a part of Bahamian culture. When men do it, it's often dismissed, but when women do it, it's judged. So why is infidelity perceived so differently depending on who's involved? A recent University of the Bahamas study, a description of sweethearting in the Bahamas, analyzed responses from more than 6,700 adults and found that 54% of married women surveyed describes a sweetheart as sexually superior, compared to 39.5% of married men. The research also suggests that some women may be seeking connections outside their marriages to meet unmet emotional or intimate needs, even while remaining married. Joining us now is psychiatrist Dr. Davina Knowles-Robinson. Welcome back to What's Trending, Dr. Robinson.
Thank you for having me. I'm just so sad that I couldn't be there with you in person, but I'm always happy to be here on the show.
Well, we got you virtually, so that's just as important. So let's start broadly. Why does society tend to react more harshly when women cheat compared to men?
Unfortunately, society still has gender norms, and so it is expected that as a female, we're supposed to be in the home, we're supposed to take care of, you know, what it looks like to be in the home and the relationship in that way, care for the children. However, we have now come into a society where the women and the men work. And so the woman is also going out to be a breadwinner, and sometimes the woman is making more money than the man, and that is almost taboo to even say, but that is just our reality. But it is innate for us to feel as though the woman is supposed to be more caring, more concerning, more hands-on, more emotionally attached to the family, and so it's so taboo to even fathom that this woman is stepping out of her marriage.
And from a psychological standpoint, are the motivations for women's infidelity different from men's?
I mean, I think it was addressed in the study where it said that the thought is that women are more emotionally attached when they cheat, and men are just doing it for the pleasure of sex. However, the study did show that because our gender norms have kind of shifted and the women are also going out to work, their appetites for things have changed too. So yes, there is an emotional attachment when it comes to cheating, when it comes to a woman. However, the desire sexually is also there. I mean, it's pegged for men to have that big sexual appetite to go out there and look for sex as opposed to the attachment. But I think because the gender norms have been shifted, that desire and psychological change has also shifted.
Well, the study found that 54% of married women describe sweetheart as sexually superior. What does that suggest about intimacy gaps in marriages?
I think it boils down to communication. And I know, having been on the show before, we spoke a lot about that too, where, you know, there's a lot of communication issues within marriages. But when we look at women having an increased sexual desire, I think that also stems to looking at it as just that, because the study also did show that either men nor women were looking for a long-term partner. And so it was more on the fact of what desire am I trying to fulfill? Is it emotional? Is it financial? Is it sexual? And so I think a lot of the times in marriages, the communication isn't there. So that person might have gone out looking for an emotional partner because they weren't getting it at home. And so I think that is what happens within these infidelity relationships. I know what I'm going for, and give me that, and this could be the transaction.
So then could we say then that sweethearting is more about dissatisfaction or about opportunity and evolving gender roles, as you've discussed to some degree?
Right. I do think that it is both. I think it is, the opportunity is there, so I will fulfill that. I do feel as though I'm having a void in my marriage, or my relationship, because this could be, as we saw in the study, that it wasn't just about married couples, but people in long-term relationships too. That it isn't just about fulfilling one specific thing, but I do need to get the fulfillment, and I'm not getting it at home. So I am looking for it other places. And yes, our gender norms have shifted. So it isn't just the men that are doing it. It is also women.
So then what kind of impact would you say this kind of dynamic has on families and these long-term relationships?
Unfortunately, the family does pay for it. And even when it was predominantly the men doing it, it does have an effect on the family. If you look at kids that are in households where either the mother or father was having these sweetheart relationships, the kids are watching that. And so they now normalize this behavior and think, well, when I'm older, I'm going to do this too. So they're mimicking a lot of the behaviors. And also, if you're thinking about it, also, a lot of these relationships are not using protection. So what is going to come out of that? Another child. So it's not like you're going to keep a child a secret. It's easier for a man to keep a secret in that way, but a woman, if she gets pregnant because of these sweethearting relationships, that's now bringing another child into the mix as well. And that then changes the dynamics of the family. It changes the guild. It changes, everything within the family structure, and it crumbles as a society.
Now, you touched on the low condom usage and concerns that would raise. So tell us, can cultural norms around sweethearting actually realistically shift, or is it too deeply embedded in society for that to happen?
So anything is possible. I don't like to work in absolutes. Like, at the end of the day, I think if we change our thinking and our perspective and have some introspection, I think that there can be a change, but it then comes into the onus of the person. It comes into leadership. I think that the issue is that in churches, unfortunately, in leadership roles, that has become a norm too. So I think it is now taking the responsibility and shifting how we teach these things to our next generations that I think it can become more impactful.
Well, Dr. Robinson, thank you for helping us unpack the psychology behind the headlines. This is clearly more than just a cultural talking point. It's a conversation about expectations, emotional needs, accountability, and evolving roles in modern relationships. So thank you so much again for joining us.
Well, thank you again for having me.
All still ahead, glamour, grit, and vocals that command the room. The divas lit up the stage at Bahama, and yes, we're giving you a taste.
If you would like to be a part of What's Trending, DM us on Instagram at What's Trending on ZNS.
Thank you. Heaven, I'm in heaven, and my heart beats so that I can hardly speak. Out together, dancing cheek to cheek.
I'm Jordan, by the way. Tom.
Behind every strong economy is a bold entrepreneur, and we're here to support them, island by island. On Eleuthero, we've helped 122 entrepreneurs turn their dreams into thriving businesses. Through over $3 million in approved funding, the SPDC is strengthening Eleuthero's economy by investing in its leading sectors: tourism, food and beverage, and agriculture. No matter the island, every business we support strengthens the economy, starting with yours. SPDC, Bahamas.
Wait, what you grabbing all these pizzas, boy?
Wait, Marcos, wait. We have a special on all the large one-topping pizzas, wait.
Pineapple.
All.
Barbecue.
All. Hey, VAT included, but.
I need the $10 special plate.
How many of them would you like?
20 in it. Thank you so much, man. $10, that's it? Marcos got that deal, but
Tuesday nights can't be headline worthy. When these divas step up to the mic, the whole room feels it.
For someone who have never seen you guys perform, how's the energy inside the room? How's the energy on the stage?
Oh my gosh, it is so much fun. It's electric. It's a sisterhood, especially when all of the divas come together on the stage. And we, you know, it's such an experience. So we do our own thing individually, but when we come together, it is absolutely chef's kiss.
I love that. What's
magical.
your favorite song?
My favorite song, I can't say.
Yes, you can.
I cannot say. It's so many. It's
I know
just so
my
many
favorite
different.
song.
Oh, what is it?
Of course, my first attempt was just a warm-up compared to the powerhouse voices that truly owned the stage that night. Each act brought their own flavor, their own story, and together they created a tapestry of sound that honored both tradition and innovation. Let's take a closer look at the women who lit up the room.
Tonight, we're putting on a show that honors divas of the times of our past. You know, the divas that have inspired us to be who we are today, at least as female performers. They paved the way for us to do what it is that we can do.
You heard what to expect from the show. Now let's hear how creativity brings the night to life.
It's pure grit, pure drive, and the fact that I won't be able to get any sleep unless I get it out of me. Being a creative means that you have something that builds up inside of you that has to be let out, it has to be released, and it has to be shared among the masses because it's a gift that you want to share with everyone.
You know I wasn't going to chat with 4 divas and not share a sneak preview.
R-E-S-P-E-C-T, find out what it means to me. R-E-S-P-E-C-T, take it, take it.
Okay, I see what's going on, okay.
After the first note, I was hooked. The divas bring the John Baptiste Jazz Club to life every Tuesday night. Don't miss the chance to see them live. It's a show that stays with you long after the final note. For What's Trending, I'm Wes Calix Forbes.
Well, usually Trend Tracker takes you around the world, but today we're keeping it in the neighborhood. No long flights, no jet lag, just a quick hop across the region to see what our Caribbean cousins are talking about. This is your regional Trend Tracker. Caribbean history is unfolding right now in St. Kitts and Nevis. Regional leaders have gathered for the 50th regular meeting of the Conference of Heads of Government of CARICOM. And this isn't just another summit, it's one about action. Under the powerful theme, Beyond Words, Action Today for a Thriving Sustainable CARICOM, all 15 member states are represented at the highest level, marking the first time in more than a decade that every single head of government is in the room. From climate resilience and food security to economic strength and deeper regional unity, the message from the opening ceremony was clear: the Caribbean cannot afford to stand still. And with major international partners also at the table, this milestone meeting isn't just ceremonial, it's setting the tone for the Caribbean's next chapter. This is CARICOM at 50, and the region is moving from talk to transformation. Back here at home, a disturbing case out of Freeport is shaking public trust and sparking tough conversations across the country. A 30-year-old man has been sentenced to 3 years behind bars after posing as a female attorney, allegedly scamming dozens of people out of nearly $20,000. According to authorities, he specifically targeted vulnerable individuals desperately seeking legal help for incarcerated loved ones, promising representation, collecting fees, and delivering forged documents instead. Police say the scheme unraveled during an undercover operation where officers uncovered fake legal paperwork and what prosecutors described as a calculated deception that undermined confidence in the justice system. Now, beyond the prison sentence, the case is fueling wider debate about fraud, accountability, and just how easily trust can be exploited when people are at their most vulnerable. Well, from regional action to local accountability, today's headlines remind us that leadership and trust matter at every level. That's been your regional trend tracker. Don't go anywhere. We've got more What's Trending right after this.
After I was in a plane crash in June 1983, I lost my left arm. I had some good friends came along, fishing guides. They said, man, we can teach you to fly fish. Exuma, exuma. Can you see? Look at it, man. One of the nicest places you want to be in the world. There were challenges learning to cast, learning to put a fly on a leader, learning to tie the different knots. For me, as a handicapped individual, as a matter of fact, I don't really feel handicapped because I could do everything, man. Anything anybody could do, I think I could do it too. Because with your mindset to do anything, no matter what you are, what you look like, what's happening to you, you can do it. Persons in our positions, it's hard to get fundings and very, very expensive. SBDC would be helpful in regards to help funding people with disabilities. So nothing is impossible if you're disabled, any kind of disability. Put faith in God and trust God. Believe you will overcome.
Oh, isn't that nice? Wait, you missed it? You haven't been on the website. Here's how TDC can help you. Whether you're turning your home into a vacation rental, pitching a business idea, or growing what you've already started, the TDC is here to help. Visit tdcbahamas.com for every conversation, event, grant, and opportunity happening near you. Tourism is all of our business, and the TDC is here to support yours.
This Thursday, just her and the world. Why solo travel is more than a trend, it's a lifestyle. Well, thanks for watching. Stay connected with us on Instagram at What's Trending on ZNS. We'll see you tomorrow at 6 p.m.
The Cabinet Office wishes to advise the general public that daylight savings time will commence on Sunday, the 8th of March at 2 a.m. and will continue until 2 a.m. on Sunday, the 1st of November, 2026.
Planning the execution of a newscast is serious business. From the assignment to the concept of the story, everything has to be precise, on point, always. The Bahamas Tonight, the national report, is your trusted news service. We get it right the first time. Our preparation for you each night is done with care, knowing that our voices will reach you on 700 islands and keys with unquestionable accuracy. It gives me great pleasure each night to say,
welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the national report. I'm your national anchor, Mukesh Lapinder.
The Hidden Disabilities Sunflower is a globally recognized symbol for persons with invisible disabilities.
The Sunflower lanyard made our journey less stressful, smoother, and more inclusive.
REACH is proud to support the Hidden Sunflower Scheme, which makes the invisible visible. So far, the Nassau Airport Authority and the Nassau Cruise Port are Sunflower certified.
So if you see someone with a sunflower lanyard, always remember to be patient and ask if they need some help. Please be kind and always remember to show respect.
We wish to encourage more hotel operators with amenities such as water parks, restaurants, cinemas, government offices to join this initiative, making the Bahamas a more sunflower-friendly country.
Please feel free to reach out to the REACH office at 328-4123, or you can reach out to the National Commissions for Persons with Disabilities at 396-8700.
What you see on this television station is governed by IRCA's Code of Practice for Content Regulation. The Code of Practice covers matters relating to program content that are of concern to the community, such as local content, news, current affairs, and programs for children, advertising, including political advertisements, and the responsibilities associated with broadcasting in the Bahamas. The code also covers aspects such as access services for the hearing and visually impaired, and the procedure for lodging a complaint about anything broadcasted by this television station. The code is available on IRCA's website at www.ircabahamas.bs. To receive a copy of the code by mail or in person, you may telephone IRCA at 242-393-0234. Family Island dialing is toll-free at 242-300-8722. Or you may send a request by email to info@ircabahamas.bs.
At the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, I'm Clint Watson, and this is ZNS.
Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thanks so much for tuning in. We do apologize for tonight's late start. Topping news tonight, the government is taking a major step toward the redevelopment of Grand Bahama's International Bazaar site as the Minister for Grand Bahama moves a resolution in the House of Assembly today. The resolution seeking approval for the government to enter into a guarantee agreement with the African Export-Import Bank for $1.8 million to support the development of an integrated Afro-Caribbean marketplace and logistics center. The details in tonight's top story. The resolution seeks approval for the government to enter into a guarantee agreement with the African Export-Import Bank for $1.8 million to support the development of an integrated Afro-Caribbean marketplace and logistics center. Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, says the initiative is rooted in leveraging the island's strategic advantages.
What we are embarking on is a game changer. With trade as a hot-button issue in the world, our major transshipment terminal, our proximity to the USA, Grand Bahama being the gateway to the Caribbean, with the diaspora considered the sixth region of Africa, the desire for cultural immersion, the historical ties that bind us, with the ever-growing African market, the 6 million visitors to soon visit the shores of Grand Bahama with Celebration Key and MSC's new investment at Freeport Harbor.
The minister says for nearly 2 decades, the former International Bazaar site has stood as a daily reminder of what Grand Bahama once was. She adds that it has also become a cautionary tale, showing how decline, when left unaddressed, can quickly become normalized.
When completed, the project is expected to transform Grand Bahama into a major trade and cultural hub, enhance the strategic position of the Bahamas in global maritime networks, foster economic growth, create jobs, and strengthen ties between Africa and Caribbean nations.
The opening of West Sunrise Highway also highlighted by the minister, who noted that the project has been a long-standing wish for many Grand Bahamians.
For 87-year-old Enos Emmanuel General Grant of Eleuthera Drive, Hawksbill, that's his one wish: to see the road between the Bazaar and Princess, West Sunrise Highway, reopened. Well, General Grant, your wish will soon become a reality.
Beyond this, the minister says Grand Bahama continues to see significant progress.
Real investments, Grand Bahama will continue its upward trajectory with investments like the $827 million Concord Wildshire, the $606 million Grand Bahama Shipyard redevelopment, the $600 million Celebration Key, the $450 million Embassy Harbor development, the $348 million Xanadu Beach project, the $210 million Freeport Health Campus, the $200 million airport redevelopment, the $73 million Lewathon Statoil project, the $30 million Doctors Hospital flagship facility, and on and on and on. And
just one station.
It's a story that you will see on just one station. New developments in the case of the man who posed as an attorney and defrauded several Bahamians of thousands of dollars. While he has pleaded guilty to the charges, at least one victim is now coming forward, and she says he may not have acted alone. ZNS News has been looking deeper into those allegations. Jolanda Thompson-Everest is on the beat.
It's a case that has stunned the nation. A man already on bail allegedly assumed a female identity and posed as an attorney to lure unsuspecting victims. But tonight, one woman says Akimio McIntosh did not act alone as she recounts how she was defrauded of thousands of dollars.
What happened is Kimio was locked up for the whole principal thing. No, I think it was warrants or something anyway. But remember, he had a whole nother case whereby he had the school and he was in trouble for something pertaining to the school and him being the principal of the school or whatever. But he was in the cell with my nephew, whose case we was dealing with. And he passed on his phone number saying, this is the person who he's dealing with and who helped his cousin to get out and whatever. So on that, my nephew makes a call from Central and say, hey, there's a number, there's a bondsman, there's a bonds lady who can assist, and she's dealing with Kimio right now, so Kimio can give you all the information and everything needed. So we was like, okay, well, let's check it out.
The family of Shadley Brown was among the victims losing more than $10,000 to the fraudulent R&R law firm. Brown, who says she knew McIntosh personally, explained she trusted and believed Nikiria Rule was a legitimate attorney who could assist in resolving her nephew's case, who had been arraigned on firearm-related charges. She never imagined that Nikiria Rule and Akimio McIntosh were on and the same.
Once we would have gotten started, yeah, she got, like I said, there were legitimate things being done. Because of her being based out of Nassau, we knew, well, okay, so physically seeing her and whatever was not a red flag to say, well, because we know she was working out of Nassau. As the business that they put forward is a Nassau-based business, and Kimio was the Freeport person that would have been the middleman. That's what I said. So anything being done, paperwork being passed on, it would come through Kimio.
The Browns sought the services in April of last year. According to Brown, her nephew was released on December 17th, just days before Christmas. But in the months leading up to his release, Brown said she began conducting her own investigation after noticing several red flags with the attorney.
It would be that she'll have to go to the prison, get the paperwork, and he wouldn't have to come to court because she's doing the paperwork, and then he'd be released from there. Then it would be, we'll send this amount of money, and we'd have the officers to make sure that he doesn't come down to court. That way she can have them, she can do everything from there, and then not have them have to come back to Freeport.
Other red flags soon emerged. Brown says Rule never appeared in court on her nephew's behalf, the final straw that raised serious alarm. Determined to get answers, Brown went to the magistrate's court seeking a refund. But she said that is when matters took yet another unexpected turn.
I went upstairs and I inquired on a refund. They said, do you have a receipt? I said, no, she didn't give us a receipt. Okay, well, you need a receipt because we have to pull it up in the system in order to say what's the status on it. I said, okay. So the clerk at the magistrate office, she said, you know what, let me get the supervisor. You could deal with her. So I said, okay. So the supervisor came out. And she said, well, if you don't have a receipt, we really can, you know. She said, but what was it for? I said, well, it was to pay for, I guess, a bail.
Following that exchange, Brown said she firmly believes someone within the judicial system may have been assisting McIntosh and the woman she describes as an imposter attorney. And here's a voice note she said she received from the fake female attorney citing concerns.
You make me feel like a hypocrite on the last conversation, so I was like, okay. I
make me feel like no hypocrite, but I just want you to know that I ain't stupid. I mean, like...
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jolanda Thompson, Everest.
Now, officials say whether he acted alone remains to be seen. However, McIntosh was sentenced to 3 years for fraud in connection to this and other cases. Well, more legal trouble tonight for the man already accused of posing as an attorney. Akimio McIntosh was back in court today, this time facing charges involving minors. Our newsroom was present at the case as the case unfolded before the magistrate. Dressed in plain clothing and seated quietly in the front bench of the courtroom, Akimio McIntosh appeared before Magistrate Charlton Smith to answer to 2 counts of cruelty to a minor and 1 count of procuration. McIntosh was represented by attorney Benjamin McKinney, pleaded guilty to all charges. The court heard that McIntosh served alcohol to 2 minors ages 16 and 17. For the 2 counts of cruelty to a minor, he was sentenced to 2 years or 24 months on each count, with those sentences to run concurrently. On the charge of procuration, McIntosh received a sentence of 40 months, 3 years and 4 months also to run concurrently. You may also recall McIntosh was before the court just yesterday when he appeared before Magistrate Charlton Smith and pleaded guilty to 52 counts, including 13 counts of forgery, 13 counts of possession of forged documents, 13 counts of uttering forged documents, 4 counts of fraud by false pretense, 1 count of procuring a forged document, 4 counts of money laundering. He was sentenced to 3 years for these charges. While the family of Ted Cooper Jr. is still waiting for closure as sentencing for the man convicted in his 2022 stabbing death is delayed once again. The matter involving Rosquino Cox was adjourned in the Supreme Court, prolonging an emotional legal process that the Cooper's mother says, Alcina Cooper says, continues to reopen painful memories of her son's final moments. Shalia Roll has that story.
Time has passed, but the pain hasn't for the mother of Ted T.J. Cooper. She says that she relives the tragic night every time she walks through the Supreme Courtroom doors. This mother's tragedy taking place on Wednesday, June 29, 2022, right before the 10 p.m. hour, when Ted Cooper engaged into a verbal altercation with friends that turned physical at a business establishment on Mackenzie Street. Cooper then collapsed at the door of the establishment before being transported to the hospital later on. That transport was delayed, according to the father of Cooper, because no one wanted to dirty their cars. However, upon the arrival to the Rand Memorial Hospital, Ted Cooper was examined by the doctors, but later succumbed to the 4 fatal stab wounds in his chest. Rosquino Cox, the man responsible for the murder, turned himself in soon after, later hearing the guilty plea in the Supreme Court on October 20th, 2025, with presiding Justice Andrew Forbes.
Long journey, and I just pray them that those who know the virtues of prayers, to pray my strength.
The Cooper family said that they went through the entire court process, reliving the moment that their loved one was taken away from them with autopsy reports and seeing his body in the Cole morgue during the trial. The family anticipating Cox to be sentenced on February 17th, 2026. However, the case was adjourned until February 24th, then again on February 25th. Now they are hoping that closure is received on Friday, February 27th, 2026.
Closure. Any answers to this court case, this hearing itself. I'm still awaiting. Each day has been hard on my heart.
The hurting mother reminiscing on the last breath her son took, stating that the mental image of Cooper taking his last breath constantly plays in her head.
I can see him. I can see him trying to gasp for air, to breathe. It's not been easy.
Now, Tamika Burrows, a family member of Rosina Cox, who is the man convicted of killing Ted Cooper, spoke exclusively to our ZNS news team. Burrows says that Cox wants the trial to be over and done with, also asserting that the defendant has to live with the pain of killing his friend every day. They are now asking the family of Cooper to be understanding of the pain he's also facing.
You know, so I understand how they feel, and they too have to understand that their son was fighting with him too. So what if the shoe was on the other foot? What if their son had stabbed him and killed him? How would they want his family to respond? And I sympathize with them, I do, because that's a life you can't get back, and that's how he feels as well.
Now, once again, the sentencing has been adjourned until Friday, February 27th, 2026. This is a story that we will continue to follow pending the sentencing of the defendant. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Shalia Rule.
And still to come.
We share the story of a young man who chose to build instead of break in tonight's edition of Defying the Odds. Stay tuned to that story, sports, and more when we come back.
There are some things that are undeniably Bahamian. A good count salad, junkanoo, the way we worship, the way we take care of one another, all undeniably Bahamian. And right in the midst of our iconic things, places, and people is Commonwealth Bank. Increasing access, sponsoring dreams, working alongside Bahamians to increase the quality of their lives for more than 60 years. Commonwealth Bank, nothing more than being Bahamian. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Come on down and see what Dolly Madison has in store for you. Renovate and rejuvenate at Dolly Madison.
Dolly Madison. Do It Center is doing it again. Our end-of-month sale happens this Friday, February 27th, and Saturday, February 28th, from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Enjoy 20% off store-wide. Visit us today at the Dell's Auto Product Complex, formerly Gold Rock Corp. Do It Center, where we help you get it done.
Princess Court Mentoring Ministries presents its 2026 mentoring program at Central Zion Baptist Church, 8 Mile Rock. Girls ages 5 to 18 are invited to experience this life-changing journey March 7th through the 29th. Transportation is available from Burger King downtown. Call 351-8311 for more information.
At Save More Drugs, we got you. We got what you want. We got what you need. We got what you came for. The quality you expect. The prices you need and deserve. Save more at Save More Drugs.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Welcome back. Tragedy struck early and responsibility came sooner, but from a small community in East End, one young man chose to build instead of break. In tonight's segment of Defying the Odds, our Sherelle Dame shares the story of a young man who found purpose on the water.
A father, a family man, a business owner. Dominic Davis, also known as Mr. Dior, has proven that he can defy the odds by pursuing a vision he refused to let die. Here in East Grand, Bahama, through setbacks and struggle, he built a freight service from the ground up. And today, we see through loss and struggle how he would rise.
My father passed away in 2003 when I was 7 years old. And my mother passed away in 2017 when I was 22 years old. My father passed away in 2003. It just was like I had to man up and become the man. I basically take care of myself, put myself through school with the help of my mother, working on weekends whenever I got a chance. You know, when everybody would be on the basketball court playing, I was up by a man named William Penn, Penner's Ferry. That's like one of my role models, one of my idols I look up to. He basically responsible for what I have now, because I watching him run the ferry and how he would carry people back and forth to Abaco. I was always like, one day I want to be like him. You understand? I want to have my own business, the way I could serve people. I joined the police force at the age of 18, and I was there for about 6 years, I think. 6 years, and I left shortly after Dorian. After Dorian, I wanted to go into the business to full-time to see there was a need for it up on this end, especially here in Swedenski, here in Abaco, getting the materials to the people, you understand, helping the people to rebuild. So I just left the force and decided to pursue it full time. It was a gambling, though, but at the end of the day, I always pray and let God guide the way. You understand? So I asked him, the Lord, direct my path. And it was just pushing more to, you know, be independent, do your thing. You understand? Just take the first step and he'll make the way. It was not so much about the money. It was about more of helping and doing something that you love. I never really considered it as working, you understand? Like, it was more helping people to rebuild, watching, like, stuff on the quay that was demolished, come back to life. People move back and forth, like, carry their cargo, like blocks and concrete and stuff. It just was a joy, helping people to rebuild. My father was a born fisherman up to the time that he passed, and my mother was a cook, well, a chef up on the quay, up the Deepwater Quay. Philip was like my father after my father passed away in 2003. Philip and his wife, Imelda Thomas. Yeah, my first boat, Philip was the one that helped me build it. You understand? He showed me what I needed to do, where I needed to place certain stuff on the boat to make it work, you understand? So he was like my partner until he passed away. And then his son, Philip Thomas, we like brothers, you understand? So just speaking about it right now get me emotional right now. He was a captain. He was a captain at the harbor, you understand? But he was like a go-to person for me. Anytime I had trouble or something with the engines, or I needed to know something about the boat or navigating or with the weather or anything, I could call him. Philip was one of those persons, he knew everything. Anything happening anywhere around the world at any time, you could ask him. Dior comes from my daughter's name, my first daughter. My name is Dior, so I was sitting down asking everybody, listen, these are a few names that they have that I should name the business in 2018, and everybody's like, man, go to Dior.
For Dominic, the journey is far from over. In fact, he believes this is only the beginning.
Yeah, if you could look right down the board, you see the sign right there that says, never give up. That's my motto. I always go by that. Never give up. In any situation you deal with, never give up. Always put God first. Listen, God, I let God take the wheel. I hear him promising me a bigger landing craft, something that goes from here to Nassau, travel the whole 700 islands. I'm pushing towards it, one day at a time.
Our Facebook friend of the night is Lakeisha Lang. Thank you so much for your support, and we hope that you enjoyed your day. Inspiring story.
Very inspiring story.
Made me want to get into the business.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking into it.
What's coming up in sports?
Is it Legacy Baseball is back, and they're highly anticipating the season.
All right, that's coming your way next. Stay tuned. That'll be back after the break.
Journey to a serene oasis. Relax. Rejuvenate. Renew. Welcome to Renew Day Spa. For appointments, call 352-RENU.
A Royal Caribbean representative will be hosting a two-day hiring event in Freeport, and there will be a job fair on Thursday, February 26th from 9:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. Also on Friday, February 27th, a swim test at the YMCA from 9 a.m. to 12 noon. Visit rcgcareers.com to apply.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
I still want to put shoes on your feet.
I want to put some shoes on your feet.
And I still want to put shoes on your feet.
We still want to put shoes on your feet.
2 locations to put shoes on your feet. Downtown Freeport, and now our newest location in the Carmichael City Shopping Plaza, right behind the Walk-Up Wendy's, Carmichael Road West.
Save more drugs, from cosmetics to prosthetics. What you need for your family, the brands you're looking for, the quality you expect, vitamins you need, and prescriptions you came for. Feel the love. Save more at Save More Drugs.
Welcome everybody to the ZNS Total Sports Cave. I'm Shane Stubbs. Legacy Baseball is back and they've got big plans for the 2026 season, backed by a new executive board. President Franklin Pinder is very optimistic those plans will come to pass.
We intend to do a lot more travel ball this year. We hope for a victorious year. And we just trying, to keep the community engaged. We are out here every Saturday from 10 to 2. The majority of the time there will be a board member here for registration.
The recipe for a successful season, unity and hard work from the players, according to Public Relations Officer Rakisha Humes and Assistant Treasurer Denisha Johnson.
We plan to work together more. We plan to have more unity, plan to engage the parents more, because we realize that if we engage the parents more, we'll have smooth sailing.
To our players, you are the heart of this association. Play with passion, support your teammates, respect your coaches and officials, and most importantly, enjoy every moment.
23.51 seconds. That's the time Grand Bahamian Shatalia Dorset logged in her 200-meter Sun Belt Conference Indoor Championship performance for the Georgia Southern Eagles. She bested Texas State's Paige Archer and teammate Naj Watson in a race that was really close headed into the finish line. Dorset and Watson later teamed with Alana Smith and Adonisha Curry, securing the SBC Women's 4x400-meter relay title. Dorset posted the fastest split, 54.26 seconds, as the quartet clocked 3 minutes and 41.12 seconds. The Eagles would finish 6th overall, matching last year's mark. And VJ Edgecombe and the 32 and 26 Philadelphia 76ers coasted to a 135-114 dub over the Indiana Pacers Tuesday evening. On 9 of 13 shooting, Edgecombe added to Philly's offensive onslaught, posting 23 points, going along with 7 rebounds and 4 assists. They'll have 1 day of rest, but they're back on the court Thursday night in Philly to take on the Heat. And that's your sports fix for this evening. I'm Shane Stubbs. Catch you all on the rebound.
The Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, Division of Cultural Affairs presents the 2026 Junior Junkanoo Grand Bahama Parade, powered by the City of Freeport Council. Saturday, February 28, 2026 at 6 p.m. West Explorers Way, downtown Freeport is where you need to be to catch the 2026 Junior Junkanoo Grand Bahama Parade. See you there.
Don't miss the 25% off end-of-season sale at Park & Shop this February 26th, 27th, and 28th, excluding red tag items and underwear. Up to 50% off selected racks at Park & Shop.
Welcome to Cornet Bahamas, where love begins at the door. For the entire month of February, you can enjoy 25% off of our doors, flooring, and tiles. Because our love truly goes beyond the door. Whether you're building, renovating, or simply upgrading your space, we're here to guide you every step of the way. On behalf of Cornet Bahamas, I can't wait to help you find the perfect fit.
Save more drugs. We got you. From cosmetics to prosthetics, what you need for your family, the brands you're looking for, the quality you expect, the prices you need and deserve. Feel the love. Save more at Save More Drugs.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
That is going to do it for us here in the North. I'm Ramiko Knowles.
I'm Shane Stubbs.
Thanks so much for watching. Here's a live look at the Bahamas tonight, coming your way next.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, a deficit recorded midway through the budget year, but fiscal targets still said to be on track. We have the numbers. Plus, the Bahamas ups its investment in creative education with the help of proposed legislation. Hear how the government proposes to pitch CAPAs as more than just a school, but a training hub. And to look at how the country's military is preparing for the possible impact of geopolitical tensions. The Bahamas tonight, the National Report starts now. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast. 6 months in, and the Davis administration's giving a progress report on what's being done and what's left to do before the current fiscal year ends. Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, the Honourable Philip Davis, is expected to put more meat on the bones of the statement delivered in Parliament today. But for now, here's what we know, and we start our broadcast with our Fern Carey.
The mid-year budget statement provides the latest figures on the national fiscal performance at the half-year mark, including plans for the remainder of the fiscal year 2025-2026. During proceedings in the House of Assembly, Minister of State in the Office of the Prime Minister, the Honourable Leon Lundy, gave brief remarks before tabling the fiscal document. He said preliminary data revealed that the government recorded a deficit for the first 6 months of the fiscal year. However, he assured that the Davis administration remains on track with its fiscal targets.
A deficit of $342.4 million, equivalent to 2.1% of GDP. During the first 6 months of the fiscal year. This represents an improvement compared to the deficit of $367.7 million, or 2.3% of GDP, recorded in the same period last year. Total revenue amounted to $1.5 billion, reflecting growth of $66.6 million relative to the prior year. Tax receipts increased by $54.4 million, or 4.2%, reaching $1.3 billion, which represents 39.1% of the full-year budget target.
The Central and South Andros MP said the government's fiscal performance strengthened in the first half of the year, with the country seeing an uptick in revenue collections over the same period. He also provided more insight on fiscal spending.
Total expenditure totaled $1.9 billion, an increase of $41.3 million, or 2.3%. compared to the same period last year. Recurrent expenditure rose by $42.2 million to $1.7 billion, driven largely by compensation of employees and interest payments on public debt. Capital expenditure declined slightly by $0.9 million to $191.7 million, mainly reflecting reduced payments to private sector partners.
Minister Lundy noted that fiscal performance usually strengthens during the second half of the fiscal year due to an uptick in revenue collections and as expenditure growth moderates. Income tax payments are also expected to boost fiscal performance during the fourth quarter. Lundy also shared the latest figures on government borrowing.
The direct charge on the government increased by $633.9 million to $12.4 billion. Representing 75.1% of GDP at the end of December 2025. This outcome reflects financing required to support fiscal operations and debt management activities during this period. Madam Speaker, the government continues to monitor and manage key macroeconomic and fiscal risks facing the Bahamas, including climate-related disasters. We are strengthening resilience.
Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, the Honourable Philip Davis, will deliver a substantive report on the mid-year budget statement in the House of Assembly next week. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Fern Carey.
Well, thanks, Fern. Policymakers also getting a preview today of a bill designed to incorporate the creative and performing arts, or CAPAs, as a statutory body that would provide tertiary-level education and technical training and eventually confer degrees, diplomas, and certificates, and other awards. The whole idea is to promote the country's cultural identity and facilitate the export of Bahamian talent. Now, as Education Minister, the Honourable Glenys Hannah Martin explains, the rationale behind the proposed legislation is based on 5 core principles.
By placing CAPAs on a statutory footing, we affirm that the arts are not peripheral, but central to national identity, youth empowerment, and economic growth. CAPAs will develop human capital, which in turn will yield intellectual property and export potential within the cultural and creative industries. Secondly, the bill establishes CAPAs as a body corporate with legal personality. This allows it to hold property, enter contracts, and manage its affairs independently, while remaining accountable to Parliament through structured governance, audited reporting, and clear fiduciary duties. Thirdly, Legislation strengthens financial and operational sustainability. It enables a multi-source funding model.
Campus will also model the autonomy, accountability, and cultural stewardship of the University of the Bahamas, the Bahamas Technical and Vocational Institute, the National Art Gallery, and the Clifton Heritage Authority. As the minister tells it, the bill is expected to secure the country's long-term vision for the creative arts, the orange economy. Well, meantime, outside the House, former Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis commented on the sale of the Grand Lucayan Resort, the subject of much back and forth in recent days, particularly in the face of reports the deal had collapsed. The project's developer has since refuted such claims, but Dr. Minnis today demanded the government to show the money.
When they made the announcement, the Deputy Prime Minister, with confidence and authoritative voice, said the money is in the bank. I checked, it's not Scotia. It's not Royal. It's not Bank of Bahamas. If the money in the bank, then what's the problem? Show us the money. Even show us 10 million, 20 million. You sold it for 120, show us something. So I don't know which bank they're talking about.
Concord Wilshire this week assured that it continues to work collaboratively and constructively with the government to redevelop the Grand Lucayan property. The company says discussions remain active, productive, and aligned with the objective to revitalize the beleaguered property. Well, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio delivering a direct but encouraging introductory address to CARICOM, one primarily focused on defending the Trump administration's decision to remove Venezuela's Nicolas Maduro and his wife from power last month. CARICOM had expressed grave concern about the move and its implications to the region. This has not, however, been the case with Trinidad and Tobago Prime Minister Kamla Prasad, who during her address to the opening reiterated her support for the ouster. Foreign Affairs Minister, the Honorable Fred Mitchell, says talks also focused on Cuba, extraterritorial effect of U.S. policies, and how the Caribbean is to respond to these, as well as what impact they will have on their societies.
I suppose the best way to say it is that there is an agreement to continue to work forward. Of course, the United States is the major trading partner in the region, and we have to continue to work with them. And so there was a pledge to do that. And on many of the subjects, there was an agreement to disagree on some of the subject matters, but basically it was a cordial discussion. And we expect that there will be positive movements moving forward between the region and the United States.
Well, coming up, the Defense Force readies for a potential influx of migrants. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. That and more in a moment.
Step into a life of luxury and convenience with the Commonwealth Bank Platinum Card. From earning premium cashback rewards on every dollar spent to enjoying comprehensive travel insurance, shop with confidence, knowing your purchases are protected. Our Platinum Concierge service turns your requests into reality, wherever life takes you. Let the Commonwealth Bank Platinum Card be your passport to exceptional experiences. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Forget them flower, forget them check. You know it's Tommy, get the respect. AP is hot, we sitting close. Degrees on your lip, that's how I know. You is my person, that ain't no secret. Sharing, I might keep it. Love buckets.
8 tasty pieces of chicken, thighs and legs for just $20. Add a large side for $5. This February, love deserves a bucket. KFC is finger-licking good.
This is the inaugural edition of The Movement, your energy and transport briefing, bringing you updates directly from the Ministry of Energy and Transport. Welcome to The Movement, live from the National Energy Summit. We begin with Energy in Motion, an inside look at the National Energy Summit 2025, where leaders, students, and stakeholders all gathered to accelerate the Bahamas' energy transition. Guided by the theme, Shaping a Sustainable Energy Future Through People, Power, and Partnerships, this summit stands as the signature annual event for the Ministry of Energy and Transport.
As the Minister of Energy and Transport, my vision of a sustainable energy future is driven by 3 conditions: reliability and security, affordability, and low carbon.
Across 2 impactful days, innovation, discussion, and collaboration filled every room.
Let's use the summit to deepen our understanding of where we stand. These are the first steps in a process that will benefit Bahamians for generations.
The Minister of Energy and Transport recorded key milestones: 488 steel poles replaced, over 9,000 feet of underground cable installed, power outages reduced by 86% on New Providence, and across the Bahamas, more than 18 new power stations are being developed, introducing solar, LNG, and energy storage systems.
Whether you live in Bimini or Nagua, the Ministry of Energy and Transport is dedicated to ensuring reliable, affordable, sustainable, and low-carbon electricity for everyone.
I'm Larissa Lundy, and this is The Movement, your energy and transport briefing. Stay with us.
You're looking at a shot there of an oil tanker off Clifton Pier in western New Providence, and that shot courtesy of drone pilot Shane Gibson Jr. Welcome back. The Organization of American States hosting local workshops to strengthen the capacity of labor ministries and key social partners across the region. Participants will also explore strategies to promote labor inclusion, safeguard workers' rights, and ensure that vulnerable groups are not left behind during economic transitions. Our Lloyd Allen takes a look.
Well, Makusha, that's absolutely right. A major thrust to empower workers. Final preparations are now being made at the Margaritaville Resort, where over the course of the next 2 days, a hemispheric meeting will take place for the Organization of American States. Now, among the 35 member states, more than 13% of the global population resides. And the focus for this session is finding employment for an estimated 2/3 of those persons in the future.
This initiative is especially meaningful for the Bahamas because it aligns directly with our leadership role in the Inter-American Conference of Ministers of Labor, especially as the Bahamas, as we embark on our most comprehensive labor legislative reform in our nation's history.
Labor Minister the Honorable Pia Glover-Rose says the workshop was first conceptualized in 2024, with attending members strategizing in response to the changing employment landscape.
We must ensure that our workers are protected, opportunities are expanded, and no populations are left behind. This means investing in training, reskilling, and upskilling, as we've been doing here in the Bahamas. Likewise, it means rolling out reforms to modernize our labor policies and strengthen social protections. It also means aligning labor policy with environmental and development planning so our actions reinforce each other.
Ambassador Chet Nemore, who serves as a representative on the OAS Committee for Administrative and Budgetary Affairs, adding that the workshop creates an opportunity for the Bahamas, which remains on the cutting edge of economic evolution.
At our mission in Washington, we're advancing development cooperation, frameworks that recognize vulnerability and climate exposure, not income alone, as determinants of access to climate financing. More importantly, the Bahamas has embedded national priorities, climate finance reform, blue and green economy expansion, and sustainable development and ocean planning into the policy architecture of the Organization of American States, moving beyond the SDGs to ensure that our national realities are aptly reflected in hemispheric action.
Now, officials say at the end of the sessions, labor ministers are hoping to implement strategies and policies to help reshape the changing workplace environment in order to impact the labor forces in the region. Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight in studio, I'm Lloyd Allen. Makushla?
Thanks, Lloyd. Another industrial accident here in the capital leaves a 34-year-old man in hospital. His condition unknown up to airtime, but here's what we do know. Police say they were alerted to the incident just before 1 this afternoon. Preliminary investigations have revealed that the victim was at a property site on Fire Trail Road West. when a crane unexpectedly collapsed, trapping the man underneath. The police, emergency and fire services all rushed to the scene to extricate the victim. Again, at last report, he was in hospital. This incident coming only a day after the lift mechanism of a bucket truck malfunctioned, injuring a 57-year-old man here in the capital. In other news, the Bahamas is stepping onto a much bigger global stage, signaling it's ready to play a more prominent role in shaping international decisions at a time of growing worldwide instability. Leah Cooper has more on the story.
The Bahamas is officially throwing its hat in the ring for a seat on the United Nations Security Council. In a pre-recorded address at the 61st session of the UN Human Rights Council, Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs, Senator the Honorable Ryan Pinder, confirmed that the country will seek election as a non-permanent member for the 2032-2033 term. Pinder framed the bid as a turning point for a small island developing state.
Small island states know that panic is not a strategy, and power alone does not guarantee safe passage. What carries us forward is discipline, cooperation, and adherence to the instruments that guide us.
The AG says the Bahamas campaign will focus on resilience, relationships, and representation, arguing that human rights, climate change, and global security are now inseparable. Climate change actually took center stage in Pinder's address as he warned that for the Bahamas, rising sea levels are not theoretical.
For small states like the Bahamas, recommitting to a rules-based order is not only our preference, it is our protection. International law is the great equalizer, the assurance that every vessel, large and small, can set sail with its rights and sovereignty respected. Nowhere is this clearer than in the climate crisis.
That said, he welcomed a new resolution on sea level rise and pointed to the advisory opinion from the International Court of Justice on climate obligations, but made it clear more action is needed.
Those who contributed least must not bear the heavy burdens.
The Attorney General also calls out what he described as unilateral and coercive blacklisting practices targeting small island states, saying they substitute power for principle. On regional security, he highlighted the crisis in Haiti, backing the upcoming gang suppression force and urging stronger international support focused on civilian protection and Haitian-led solutions. And he reaffirmed the Bahamas' commitment to advancing the rights of people of African descent, calling for honest dialogue on the legacies of slavery and colonialism. He says in a world of what he called, quote, unsettled geopolitical waters, the Bahamas is not just watching from the shore. It wants a voice, and now it wants a seat at the table. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Leah Cooper.
Well, thanks, Leah. Back here in the capital, the Defense Force on high alert in anticipation of more migrants on the high seas. Cleopatra Murphy tells us the details of how geopolitical tensions elsewhere could very well impact us at home.
The Royal Bahamas Defense Force is bracing for a potential influx of migrants from Cuba as the country grapples with fuel shortages, and the United Nations fears the island nation could be on the cusp of a humanitarian crisis. Royal Bahamas Defense Force Commodore Floyd Moxey addressed the concern on the sidelines of the commander of the Defense Force Division's parade Wednesday as the situation in Cuba goes downhill.
We know that in the aftermath of citing hurricanes, citing power outages in Cuba, we start to see mass migration, and those poison move towards the Bahama Bank, the Anguilla Keys, Key Lobos, and so we are positioning our fleet, our force in that area in case we start to see migration that we anticipate may happen because of what happened in Venezuela, and that will affect Cuba going down the road in a couple of weeks.
The situation in Cuba is also deteriorating as the U.S. blocks all oil shipments to the island nation. The crisis is further compounded after a U.S. operation in early January that led to the capture of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, who was charged in the Southern District of New York with conspiracy to import cocaine, possession of machine guns and destructive devices, and several other charges. Minister of National Security, the Honorable Wayne Monroe, detailed the preparation as he says Cuba is second to Haiti when it comes to migrant apprehensions in Bahamian waters.
Derwent Knowles is back in the fight since the variable pitch propeller problem has been solved. They've stationed the safe boats now in Inagua and in Ragged Island. We have other assets there, aerial assets, and the Coast Guard cooperates with the police force and defense force. The Cuban Border Patrol shares information with us, as does the Turks and Caicos Islands.
Moxie also shared that the latest group of Marines sent to assist with that peacekeeping mission in Haiti are set to return in days. As the multinational security mission transitions to a gang suppression force, the RBDF will also revisit how Bahamian troops are deployed.
Well, that is something that have to be determined by the National Security Council. The council is headed by the Prime Minister and the Minister, and they are working that out. We are doing the training on the base so that we can have a force ready whenever they say that they need us to deploy. We'll be ready to deploy.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
Now, RBDF Commodore Floyd Moxie also today advising Bahamian fishermen against confronting poachers at sea, and this amid a video circulating on social media believed to be Bahamian fishermen confronting and beating Dominican poachers, warning they not come back. The Commodore says he's been in contact with the Fishing Alliance who sent the video, but neither party could verify the origins or if the individuals in it were indeed Bahamians. Either way, he offers this advice.
I'd admonish Bahamian fishermen, and I came from a fishing family in Mangrove Key, not to engage foreign fishermen, not to engage poachers. They are to call the Royal Bahamas Defense Force. We have the WhatsApp number out there. The majority of those boats now have a communication device that they can reach us. We expect them to call us. We look at them as being a force multiplier. They have been giving us information in the past. But do not engage foreign fishermen. Leave that to us, the professionals.
Meantime, Agriculture and Marine Resources Minister, the Honorable Jomo Campbell, addressing two major threats facing the country's fishing industry: again, illegal poaching and a new 15% tariff from the United States. Campbell noting in a statement that the recent U.S. tariff on Bahamian seafood exports poses a direct challenge to one of the nation's most vital industries, stressing that, quite frankly, fishermen are not just workers, but stewards of our waters, the backbone of the Family Islands, and a critical part of the local economy. The minister says the government has already engaged international partners through diplomatic and trade channels to protect market access and ensure Bahamian fishermen are not fairly disadvantaged. At the same time, he says the ministry is looking at long-term solutions like diversifying export markets, expanding regionally, and investing in value-added seafood processing to build greater resilience in the industry. But tariffs are only part of the problem. The minister also points to continued reports of foreign poaching in Bahamian waters, including areas near the Gulf Stream and the Great Bahama Bank, calling it a threat to both the economy and national dignity. He added that enforcement must be visible, consistent, and uncompromising, with stronger maritime surveillance, regional cooperation, and clear legal consequences for violators.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Folk Call Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
Wait, where you grabbing all these pizzas, boy?
Wait, Marcos, wait. We have a special on all the large 1,000 pizzas, wait.
Pineapple.
All.
Pumpkin.
All. Hey, VAT included, boy.
I need the $10 special, please. How many would you like? 20 in it. Thank you so much, man. $10, that's it. The Marcos got that deal, boy.
Welcome to Cornet Bahamas, where love begins at the door. For the entire month of February, you can enjoy 25% off of our doors, flooring, and tiles. Because our love truly goes beyond the door. Whether you're building, renovating, or simply upgrading your space, we're here to guide you every step of the way. On behalf of Cornet Bahamas, I can't wait to help you find the perfect fit.
Whether you need life insurance, an endowment plan, or health insurance, BAF has you for all stages of your life.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home health care supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price. And you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station. Open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
It's about that time to check on in with Royston and Marlena to see what they have for us coming up in Access Now.
Evening, Makushla. We're very excited tonight because we have Event Horizon Experiences who are going to be talking about something very interesting, a celestial event happening on Saturday.
They've even got their tools here. We're going to be able to look at some of the telescopes, so we can't wait to see it.
Should be a lot of fun.
Sounds good. Stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight. The National Report continues after this.
Introducing Valvoline Restore and Protect, a first-of-its-kind innovation that returns pistons to factory clean, removing up to 100% of deposits, restoring your engine to perform like new. All new Restore and Protect, another first by Valvoline, distributed by Battery and Tire Specialists.
As we continue to develop the orange economy of the Bahamas and empower our artists and artisans, we as a government intend to show tangible support. We are therefore requesting our Bahamian artists and artisans to submit images of their handmade, authentically made Bahamian products and prices as we move to produce a live digital booklet with Bahamian-made works. With the creation of a live booklet, artisans can always submit new works to be included. It is our intent to use this book as a catalog for the purchase of items by all senior government officials for gifts, display items, and the like. Ministers, permanent secretaries, members of parliament, and ambassadors will be supporting our orange economy by the purchase of items and in sharing this book to the wider global creative community. We are committed to grow and expand the orange economy of the Bahamas.
That does it for the National Report, but stay close. The Bahamas Tonight continues with Access Now.
Bahamar has officially broken ground on their new beachfront resort on Cable Beach, a $700 million expansion which is expected to add 345 guest rooms and 77 luxury residences to the country's foremost resort destination. Soon to rise 330 feet over approximately 12 acres on the former site of the Melier-Nassau Beach, the new development marks the next phase of growth for the mega resort. President and CEO of Bahamar, Ray Davis, gave us even more insight into this latest multi-million-dollar step forward for the tourism sector.
It started at 350. We started this project with the government back about 2.5 years ago, and back then it was around 350 million. But after further studying of the site and what we could build and the cost structures going up, it's now up over 700 million. Tomorrow we're building our seawall. So Woolsley Construction, here local, will be coming out here and driving sheet piles down into the ground to protect the beach and to protect behind the beach all of the construction that will be happening. So we'll be starting with a seawall running the entire length of the property. That'll take quite a few months to do that seawall. And then the next phase, which will be this summer, will be the pilings that will go into the ground to support the foundations. Foundations will go in, and we'll start going vertical by the end of the year. Well, you know, the Prime Minister said over 1,000 jobs, somewhere around there, all in. Direct, indirect, over 1,000. Yeah, absolutely.
For more tourism updates, visit Tourism Today or Bahamas.com. I'm Michael Miller, and this is Tourism Today.
More than 350 Royal Bahamas Defense Force officers received promotions.
Plus, job seekers flock to the point for a job fair. Those details straight ahead.
Also, men's bridal wear takes center stage as we ease into the wedding season. You want to stay close for that.
And in sports, the men's basketball team is in Jamaica. The details coming up.
Tonight, Access Now starts now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Royston Jones.
And I'm Marlena Leonard. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, Access Now.
Welcome indeed. Now, while the Caribbean has been looking to the road and the rhythm of Carnival tonight, we are preparing to look up as a rare planetary parade, a 6-planet alignment, is set to put on a show in the night sky.
Can't wait. It's one of those celestial moments that reminds us just how small we are in the grand scheme of things and how incredible.
Defense Force. At the start of the year, 310 warrant officers and Marines were promoted, while 48 officers were confirmed after serving in acting posts. That information coming at this morning's Defense Force Divisions Parade at the Coral Harbor Base. It was there that Defense Force Commodore Floyd Moxey advised that 100 new recruits will begin their training this Saturday.
We must commit to being a defense force that is sound in judgment, professional in conduct, capable in execution, and we must be consistently mission ready. This begins at ground zero. From the moment individuals pass through our gates and transition from civilian life to becoming Marines, standards must be established early. Standards must be reinforced consistently. And standards must be upheld and will be upheld without compromise.
The Commodore also underscored that his priority is quality over quantity and discipline over deception, even as the Defense Force must continue to recruit to meet operational demands.
Our expanding mission requires disciplined, capable, and committed personnel, such as the Marines who were deployed on the advanced team to various islands within anticipation of the landfall of Hurricane Melissa. They were deployed at a moment's notice. Our Marines stood ready to deploy, fully equipped and operationally prepared to support and protect our Bahamian people.
Meanwhile, 2 major resort properties open their doors not to guests, but to job applicants looking for their next big gig. Our Maya Moss tells us more.
There's a different kind of energy when livelihoods are on the line. Resumes clutched tightly, quiet confidence masked nervous anticipation, while determined. Margaritaville Beach Resort, alongside British colonial Nassau, came together to host a job fair designed to create access to employment for job seekers. High-ranking executives Sham Lalu and Miguel Christie stressed the importance of personal interaction, noting that it extends far beyond qualifications, highlighting that investing in the future of the industry, especially at a time where families are navigating economic pressures, is crucial.
It gives us an opportunity to meet with them, speak with them a little bit more intimately, and see as many potential candidates as possible. Again, the process can be very, very tedious to try and recruit and bring people in one at a time. This allows us an opportunity to meet as many people as possible in a very short period of time.
So we want to look at the nation's brightest, the most articulate and the most skilled to come and possibly be a part of a career journey for Margaritaville.
For prospective employees, they expressed that sitting face-to-face with hiring managers felt like progress.
Because me, I'm 18 years old, freshly out of school, and I know a lot of people who are, recently graduated, and it's really hard to find a job, especially into the hotel.
So it provides a opportunity where it can be this little stable income, and you can grow in a place like the Point.
For many Bahamians, what once felt distant now feels doable, anchored in effort and driven by opportunity. Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Amaya Moss.
Thanks so much, Amaya. High-end fashion brand Kingsman Collection is redefining the traditional bridal showcase with a bold runway experience designed to highlight modern menswear. CEO Nolan Carey says this year's presentation is all about variety, giving Bahamian men the chance to see, feel, and experience a wide range of suit styles ahead of the 2026 wedding season.
This collection for 2026, we wanted to do something a little different from the regular wedding bridal show. We wanted to bring a walkway runway show that will allow now the men of the Bahamas to see so many different options and styles when it comes down to suits. We know that everyone has a different taste, different fashion, and a different style. So that's what's going to be happening today. We have over 100 suits that's on display, not only on the property, but also on the runway. So we wanted you to be able to feel, touch, and see the texture, see what you're going to get, see how it feels on you.
With 19 male models and 10 female models selected by Jasmine Wright of the right dress, dozens of looks hit the runway, with organizers saying pulling off production of this scale takes more than style, it takes strategy. Still to come, if you're looking into planet watching and stargazing, then stick around to learn more about the upcoming planetary parade Cosmic Safari. That's a mouthful. And Diane Dorsett has your Access weather forecast, so stay close.
We're BAF Financial.
We're BAF General and Health Insurance.
Welcome to the beautiful Cayman Islands.
Come on in to Cash and Go. Need technical support? We are BFG Services.
BAF Global. Global reach, local care.
Follow the savings and head to Super Value and Quality Supermarkets for super specials like Chef Boyardee Spaghetti and Meatballs, 15 ounces, $1.69. American Spice Lemon or Lime Juice, 32 ounces, $1.69. Robin Hood Flour, 5.5 pounds, $5.29. Yellow onions, 3-pound bag, $2.99. Baby back spare ribs, $2.99 per pound. From store to store, no one saves you more than Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Imagine putting $25 gas in your car, scanning the QR code, and winning a whole cruise and so much more. Well, that could be you with the New Year, New Things promotion happening right now at Rubis. From now until March 27, spend $25 or more in fuel and win one of our amazing prizes such as $500 worth of Rubis gift cards, Fidelity prepaid Visa cards, BPL vouchers, a 3-night stay at the Margaritaville Hotel, a PS5, and we'll be sending a lucky person on a cruise. I can't wait to see what you win. It's New Year, New Things with Rubis. Don't forget, spend $25 or more, scan the QR code, fill out the form, upload your receipt, enter, and win. That's my boo. I ain't getting leave. I can see you all on the cruise. Don't leave me, don't leave me.
Good evening, Marlena, Royston. It's time for your Access weather forecast. It's hump day, which means we're halfway through the week, 2 more days till the weekend. So let's take a look at what's shaping our weather for the next few days. Our satellite picture is showing clear skies as the recent cold front continues to move away from the Bahamas, leaving behind crisp, chilly nighttime temperatures that will stay with us through tomorrow morning. Taking a look at your boating forecast, in the northwest and central Bahamas tonight and Thursday, winds will be southeast at 10 to 15 knots, seas at 2 to 4 feet. We'll have low tides at 8:19 tonight, followed by another one at 9:34 in the morning. In the southeast Bahamas, winds will be easterly at 15 to 20 knots, seas at 4 to 7 feet, and small craft operators are advised to exercise caution. For those in the northwest and central Bahamas on Friday, Winds will be southeast at 10 to 15 knots, seas at 2 to 4 feet. There'll be a low tide at 10:40 in the morning, followed by a high tide at 4:28 that afternoon. And finally, in the southeast Bahamas, winds will be southeast at 10 to 15 knots, seas at 2 to 4 feet. It's time now for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. International temperatures brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. And that wraps up your Access weather forecast. Royston, Marlena?
Thanks, Diane. Well, the Tourism Development Corporation is making major headway with their downtown revitalization project. Let's take a look at what they've been up to.
Picture this, a downtown Nassau where our culture shines. Every street feels cared for. Where history isn't hidden, it's highlighted. That's the vision the Tourism Development Corporation is bringing to life in the heart of our capital. Now, through ongoing revitalization efforts, our history is being restored and maintained. Refreshed buildings, colorful murals, daily cleaning efforts, and more. This transformation isn't temporary, it's consistent.
Obviously, a lot of what we're doing in downtown involves removing buildings, cleaning up sidewalks, ensuring that our pavements are even so that, we don't have tourists that are falling down. And so it's important that we partner with the agencies like the Ministry of Works, like Parks and Beaches that help us with the garbage collection. It's a collective effort, all get towards the one common goal of improving that tourism product.
I'm happy to partner with an entity who really sees the creatives as partners, who believe in our creativity. We've been able to transform several of these buildings. Several different artists has done wonderful work, and there's gonna be a lot more to come.
And in areas that were no longer active, structures have been removed to make room for what's next, creating cleaner sightlines, safer walkways, and new opportunities for tourism-focused experiences to take shape.
So for the future, I hope that we will see here a new vision that demonstrates the rebirth, the revitalization of downtown. I hope that Bahamians can participate in redeveloping this property that's now owned by the government. I'm proud of the work that the TDC is doing. Our mission is really to enhance the product, and we're doing just that.
With culture, care, and thoughtful transformation working together, downtown is regaining its rhythm, becoming a place locals feel proud of and visitors want to explore. Downtown Nassau isn't just being refreshed, it's being revitalized. Consistently, intentionally, and with the future in mind by the Tourism Development Corporation.
Some great work happening there. Well, from our pristine tropical skies to the wonders of the universe, Event Horizon Experiences is a company tapping into the Astro-tourism market. Through guided stargazing sessions, co-founders Janae and Dwayne DeVos say they're keen on offering residents and visitors an immersive, high-tech journey through the cosmos. Thank you so much for joining us on Access.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Now, can you tell us a little bit about your company and what got you into it?
Okay, so Event Horizon Experiences is a innovative astro-tourism company that offers outdoor observation-style telescope experiences that allows guests to observe the sky like they've never been able to see and like nothing else you can find in the Caribbean.
Amazing. Now, who are these events for? Do you have to have some background experience, or can you just be someone like me where I can't even point out a constellation? I know they're pretty. How much experience do you need to have to do an event?
Okay, so no experience. You just have to have the curiosity and the wonder. So for this, what we try to bring is, we try to make it as simple as you just coming out, not having to deal with all of the crazy technology, and still being able to see what you come out to see.
Awesome. That's what I was going to ask you, because we have a lot of high-end equipment here that I want you to talk us through piece by piece. But I was going to ask you, do they have to attendees have to bring anything? You provide everything for them?
Just the curiosity.
Just the curiosity. I love that.
Just the curiosity.
Love it.
Please talk us through what we have here in front of us.
Okay.
No, this is the telescope.
Yeah. So this one is a 70mm travel telescope, right? I'll tell you the difference. The major difference is the views. The first thing that you have to know is with telescopes, we call them light buckets. The bigger the light bucket, the more view you get, right? So with this one, when you look at Jupiter, you may see small little dot, but when you look through that, you see the planet. And you see its moons, yeah.
Wow, and the moons. Wow.
Yeah, so this one would be better for constellations, like when you want to see star clusters and stuff.
Right.
Good. When you want to see deep space objects in our solar system.
I want to see a crater.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's the one.
And then, these are headlights. Okay. We have them because obviously we do this in the dark.
Right.
Once you use your phone or you have bright lights, it resets your eyes in the dark. So these are red lights so that they help your eyes not to reset and you're still able to see as well. And then this is for the atmosphere. This is a red light as well. But this is like a big red light. Yeah. Because a part of it is providing the atmosphere.
That's incredible.
This remote and everything. This is very high tech.
We were talking about this before we started, but it requires some alignment, which you said it was the hobby killer for those who are hobbyists.
So this one requires this. The mount is obviously, as you can see, you could like dial it in and do stuff. This one just don't have anything to dial in.
Right.
So with this, once you align it, you can put in what you want to look for, and it'll track it. Whereas this, you're gonna have to turn that.
Yes.
It's really manual.
The one thing that people don't realize is the stars and everything moves. So with this, you're gonna have to constantly move.
Right.
With this, it moves for you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Thanks for that distinction. Of course, when I asked you about this 6-planet alignment happening on Saturday, so the event itself, tell us about it.
So, as you know, you don't see all the same things throughout the year.
Right.
This is gonna be, for the year, maybe the only time that you're going to be able to see that much planets lined off that way.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's incredibly rare.
And so a lot of people see planets, but not realizing that they're seeing planets. And so what we hope that our Cosmic Safari will do is that they will allow persons to get knowledge, immerse themselves in STEM education as well, and we bring hopefully the 4th S to our sun, sand, sea, and stars.
Oh, beautiful.
Has the reception been good so far since
it has. Actually, our first session is fully booked.
Fully booked?
Yes.
Is that for this?
Yes, Saturday. However, we have a second one, so if persons are interested, they gotta get in there quick.
And how do you, we're both, not that we're at all excited to do this thing or anything. How do you sign up?
Yes, so you can go to our website, which is www.eventhorizonexperienceswithanx.com. And we are all on Facebook. You can also find us on Instagram at our handles. All of our handles is Event Horizon Experiences. And you can just click the link and go straight through.
That's fantastic. I think you can count on 2 more attendees coming
Definitely, we'd love to have you.
Trying to play it cool, but I don't think it's working. Like, put my name down now.
I think it's an amazing company, and I wish you all the best with, of course, the event and future successes.
Thank you so much for having us.
Absolutely.
I hope you guys do come out.
We certainly will. It's time now to turn things over to ZNS Total Sports to see what's on tap.
The Bahamas men's national basketball team settling in Jamaica just ahead of their big showdown. Details of that story and more coming up in sports.
Bahama's biggest night of worship this February 27th. New Birth Ministry International and YBE Promotion presents Chandler Moore, I Shall Not Want, official praise concert. The voice that electrified a generation will be performing live.
This is Chandler Moore. I am coming to Nassau, Bahamas for the first time. February 27th, Nassau, Bahamas, Beach Soccer Stadium. I cannot wait to see y'all. Love you.
Also performing Nigel Lewis, DJ Godson, Cheryl J, and Oslin Jador. Friday, February 27th at the Beach Soccer Stadium in Nassau. Tickets on sale now at BahamasETickets.com. Sponsored by Embrace Resort in Staniel Key, Exuma, Bahamas. Inspiration 107.9, Zaymar. For info, call 242-357-0116 or call 242-427-8111.
Welcome to your Wednesday Sports Check, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports. The Bahamas men's national basketball team settling in and getting some practice underway over in Jamaica as they prepare to play the host country in the opening game of the second window of the 2027 FIBA America's World Cup qualifiers. The Bahamas will play the opening game of that window tomorrow at the National Indoor Sports Center in Kingston. Now, the last time the Bahamas took on Jamaica was in 2011 at the Caribbean Basketball Confederation Championships. The Bahamas won that matchup 78-75. Their second matchup of the window will be played against Puerto Rico on Sunday. So in hoops, this time over to the association, a national team player continuing to ball out for the Philadelphia 76ers in his rookie season. VJ Edgecombe with another big performance in a Philly win. VJ posting 23.7 boards, 4 assists as Philly would dominate the Indiana Pacers 135-114. His backcourt mate Tyrese Maxey had 32, while Joel Embiid poured in 27. Philly winning their second game in a row after stopping a 2-game skid. They improved to 32-26 on the year and currently sit 6th in the Eastern Conference. And with the 2026 GSSA track and field meet on the horizon, the association, along with the Ministry of Education, continuing its baton passing tradition, starting its initial leg yesterday at the Ministry of Education building. Education Officer for Physical Education in the ministry, Keisha Johnson, tells us more.
This is the annual Baton of Camaraderie, and it's associated by the Ministry of Education and the GSSA brainchild by Mr. Keith Sanders and Ms. Dawn Knowles, who were former officers in Fiscal Education for senior school and primary school. This actual event is just a partnership and that unites all of our schools, junior and senior high schools, the government schools, and we give them a sense of unity, national pride, and it's a lead-up activity towards our annual GSSA Track and Field Championships.
To the pitch in the soccer news, University of the Bahamas men's soccer team is looking to get in the win column with a match against Future Stars FC on Sunday. Captain and midfielder Ronaldo Green scored in the 21st minute only to have the goal canceled after the referee and his assistant had a conference and ruled offside. 3 minutes later, Liam Johnson assisted Klajinski Klerjus, who put the ball in the back of the net to put UB up 1-0. Klerjus returned the favor in the 32nd minute as Johnson would put UB up 2-0. Green, who scored 8 goals in 4 matches, got on the score sheet in the 34th minute. UB led 3-0 at the half and would cruise to the 5-0 win.
We managed the game well, managed to score 2 or 3 more goals and kept a clean sheet. I think the guys who coach brought in to do the job did the job, and we just need to keep the consistency. My job and my consistency as a captain is what I think coach looks at me for. I just need to keep my head, keep the team head, and as the season go along, keep the consistency.
In tennis news, the Bahamas junior boys team advancing to the Davis Cup playoffs and will face the host nation Guatemala. Look at how they got there. They would start with an opening win over El Salvador. The next 2 ties against Panama and Trinidad and Tobago would be crucial to determine their advancement to the playoff rounds. Both matches, the Bahamas would split the singles before rebounding in doubles. In the baseball news, the Ultimate Champion Sports Academy 12 and under team was crowned champions of the 12A Central Florida U.S. Specialty Sports Association Slugfest National Tournament that took place in Umatilla, Florida over the weekend. The team went undefeated in the mini tournament, winning all 5 of their games. The event featured 12 teams from throughout Florida and international teams as well. And that's been a look at your sports on this Wednesday. I'm Amajal Knowles signing out until tomorrow.
Step into any Super Value or Quality Supermarkets location for great specials like Devon corned beef, 12 ounces, $2.29. Jacquard vegetable oil, 40 ounces, $4.49. Pearl Milling pancake mixes, assorted 28 ounces, $4.99. Sweet cantaloupes, 2 for $5. Chicken leg quarters, 10-pound bag, $1.15 per pound. From store to store, no one saves you more than Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Come and visit us at Shop Smart, 'cause everything is here.
Yes, we have it all for you.
toys, clothing, office supplies, appliances, custom cut blinds, bedding, drapes, and rugs. Come and visit us on Mackey Street, 2 blocks down from Wolf Road. Call us at 698-1052. Everything is here.
You're looking at a shot of downtown Nassau looking into the cruise port. That shot courtesy of our very own Shane Gibson Jr. And it's time now for Family Island News. Let's see what's happening in South Andros. Let's go.
Thanks, Marlena. Now, South Andros residents embraced for an important weekend of wellness as the Love Yourself Health Fair made its way to Kemps Bay. The event, organized by Central and South Andros and Mangrove Key MP, the Honorable Leon Lundy, and the Ministry of Health and Wellness, gave community members access to free blood pressure and diabetes screenings, providing many with a valuable opportunity to check on their health. Attendees also heard from guest speakers who shared practical advice and information on maintaining healthier lifestyles and preventing chronic illnesses. Organizers say the health fair's goal was to promote self-care and raise health awareness across South Andros. It's a message that resonated with South Andros residents Marcia Smith and Sandra Nixon.
It helps us to better our condition of how we can stay healthy and be more healthy because, you know, of late we have plenty of people with diabetes, and to avoid these things, we were taught today a lot of things that we can help to prevent all of this.
With this awareness, persons can come and get their free testing, and I think it's a very good thing. It's a very good thing for the community of South Andros.
You know what they say, health is wealth. And it's now time for Let's Talk Socials with Matea Stewart.
Before streaming, before playlist, before podcast, there was radio. I'm Matea Stewart, and this is Let's Talk Socials, and today we're diving into a video that's giving the Bahamas a serious throwback moment. Media mogul Shinwin, formerly known as Steven, took to social media with a tribute to classic ZNS radio. And listen, he did not miss.
The Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas originated as a state-owned radio service in 1936. Some 15 years after radio broadcasting began in North America and Britain, one of the main motivations of the service was to provide hurricane warnings for the far-flung islands of the Bahamas. There are people who were doing sponging, and they'd go out into the ocean, and there was no way for them to know, hey, horrible approaching storm is coming. People died. Let's set up a radio station that broadcasts entirely over the entire country, from the top to the bottom, 2 hours a day. That's all they had. But the point of ZNS was, and has always been, to warn us of impending storm.
Social media users flooded the comments, sharing memories. Some said it brought them back to their childhood. Others said they didn't even know the history until now. And honestly, in a time where content moves fast and trends fade even faster, it's refreshing to see someone slow things down and honor something that helped shape our media landscape. Because whether you grew up hearing it in the car, in the kitchen, or in the background of a family line, ZNS Radio was there. I'm Matea, and this has been LTS.
A lovely bit of history there, absolutely.
Definitely proud of that legacy.
That's going to do it for Access Now for tonight. Join us tomorrow night where we'll hear from a Bahamian judo champion and his representation across the globe.
Now stay tuned for the rundown with Howard Grant. Good night, everybody.
By giving unconditionally, not expecting anything in return, I thought was a wonderful way of showing this love. And I believe that it is love that truly draws people. And so I thought we could cover a lot more people by feeding. Volunteers, you know, they have truly been sold.
My passion is to help, and I thank God for what I can do through the help of Bahamas Feeding Network.
We play just like your kids. We text just like your kids. We learn. We even cook. We take selfies. We have hobbies. And we love sports. In every way, we are just like everyone else and enjoy the same things and live our lives every day, just like you do. So if you happen to meet us, treat us just like everyone else. Because at the end of the day, we're just like you. Living life with Down syndrome is simply living. To learn more about Down syndrome, call 727-2105. This message is brought to you by the Grand Bahama Down Syndrome Society.
The Cabinet Office wishes to advise the general public that daylight savings time will commence on Sunday, the 8th of March at 2 a.m. and will continue until 2 a.m. on Sunday, the 1st of November, 2026.
Breast cancer is the leading cause of cancer deaths in the Bahamas and in Bahamian women. At present, we are unable to prevent breast cancer, but performing screening mammograms can detect breast cancer at its earliest when there are no symptoms and when it is more likely to be treated successfully. All women should have a primary health care provider who is aware of their medical history, family history, and risk factors. Women 40 to 45 years can choose whether to start screening in consultation with their physician. All women 45 to 54 years should have an annual mammogram. Women older than 55 years can have a yearly mammogram or choose to have one every 2 years. Monthly breast self-exams in conjunction with the mammogram can increase the odds of early detection. Be proactive about your health.
Planning the execution of a newscast is serious business. From the assignment to the concept of the story, everything has to be precise, on point, always. The Bahamas Tonight, the national report, is your trusted news service. We get it right the first time. Our preparation for you each night is done with care, knowing that our voices will reach you on 700 islands and keys with unquestionable accuracy. It gives me great pleasure each night to say,
welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the national report. I'm your national anchor, Mukesh Lopinder.
At Centerville, I'm LaDawn Davis. This is ZNS.
Wednesday evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is The Rundown. I am Howard Grant. It is so wonderful to have you with us. Hope you guys are good out here. It is hump day, and a lot of persons are actually getting themselves prepared for the weekend. So I hope that you're good and jamming and being able to prepare yourself. If you're anything like me, I look forward to the weekend. I got to get up early with these children and do all these things. You know, I'm Papa Bear, praise God. But it's a beautiful day, and it's a great opportunity to be able to talk. It's a great deal of things that's in the news. And what we like to be able to do is give you the rundown on topical issues that have been floating and circulating in the news. Now, I don't know where you are throughout the country. I don't know where you are being able to watch us, whether you're in Turks and Caicos or in other spaces. But the dailies have given us a great deal today. Now, I thought about whether or not I should be able to talk about a gentleman who decided that he wants to be a lawyer, but a lady lawyer. It's too much. And I don't know whether or not I'm going to get into that. But I will say to you that there was a lot going on. And in the midst of this leadership battle, in the midst of being able to identify the back and forth, and the lines that's being drawn, and the political sign to be able to identify these things, and in the midst of a Lent season, my God, We're going to have a very good conversation. Joining me to be able to dive into that conversation is my very good friend, none other than Garth Roseborough. My brother?
Well, it's
good afternoon.
It's our usual Wednesday get-together, and you know how we do it. It's more of a barbershop conversation for us. That's, I think, where we first started.
That's that's where we first started.
Yeah, Carmichael Road, barbershop.
And then you go on with me on the radio.
It's been years.
It's been years.
People don't know how long it's been.
No,
it's been a very, very long time, Howard Grant, and so the night continues.
And talking about that years, throughout the course of our conversations and our relationship in terms of understanding nationally, we've been talking about leadership. We've been taking on this kind of a course to identify leadership. We've been being able to dissect. This has been our proverbial sports. We break down everything. Talk to me. We break down the stats. We break down all these particular things. And really been able to talk about this sort of an idea of what our expectations are for the country. I want to start off with this. Earlier today, guys, if you had an opportunity to be able to listen, then you would have known. If you don't, then you can go back and check it out. But today on my other platform that I actually do, I had an opportunity to be able to tap in and have a conversation with none other than Leroy Major.
Oh, mercy. The man of God and politician.
Leroy Major had, and for all intents and purposes, if you don't know, you can be able to pull this up on any one of the social platforms. Leroy Major, Obi Roberts, who's the ratified candidate in the Southern Shores constituency, had come out and started to be able to talk about what he would have done in the Marshall Road area, right in the Southern Shores constituency, and being able to clean up, and Obi being able to indicate that he would have gotten assistance from the Department of the Correctional Facility, the Department of Corrections, to be able to rectify this area. And I thought that this was going to be the long and short of the video. But lo and behold, the next part of this video, stitched to this, Leroy Major pops up. I say, well, what is this? Leroy Major starts to be able to thank Obi. But it was sort of, I didn't understand what he was doing at first. He said, well, I want to thank you so much. And I want to thank you for being able to do this, because someone at the head of the PLP has done this. And this was as a result of you doing this, because we had given out this contract to cut the grass in this area, but someone took it from us. I said it was much. It was much. And so that conversation, which I'll be able to kind of stitch and let you hear in the social media spaces, that conversation, I just was curious that how you could blame somebody for these things. He said, how can you blame these? How can you blame an individual who has aspirations and an idea to be able to move forward for these particular things? How can you? We would have heard from a very long time that it wasn't a possibility that he was going to run. And now he's saying that he will represent in the constituency of Southern Shores come the next general election. But he still supports Brave Davis. He loves his prime minister. He loves his leader, but he will contest the seat in Southern Shores. I said, well, this is sort of oxymoronic. They can't support the leader and deflect from the organization. They got to be able to stand strong in the organization and be able to do that. Well, we're going to be able to take this kind of a commercial break. When we get back, we can find out a little bit more about this right after this.
Ministry of Education and Technical and Vocational Training advises the public that the registration process of the 2026-2027 school year for public school students has commenced. Parents are urged to register their children before the deadline of the 31st of March, 2026. Here's what you'll need: your child's proof of identity, immunization card, their most recent transcript or report card, parents or guardians' proof of identity. Register before the deadline to ensure a seamless transition into the new school year. Don't delay. Register today.
The Cabinet Office wishes to advise the general public that daylight savings time will commence on Sunday, the 8th of March at 2 a.m. and will continue until 2 a.m. on Sunday, the 1st of November, 2026.
It's Bahama's biggest night of worship this February 27th. New Birth Ministry International and YBE Promotion presents Chandler Moore, I Shall Not Want, official praise concert. The voice that electrified a generation will be performing live.
This is Chandler Moore. I am coming to Nassau, Bahamas for the first time. February 27th, Nassau, Bahamas, Beach Soccer Stadium. I cannot wait to see y'all. Love you.
Also performing Nigel Lewis, DJ Godson, Cheryl J, and Oslin Jador. Friday, February 27th at the Beach Soccer Stadium in Nassau. Tickets on sale now at BahamasEtickets.com. Sponsored by Embrace Resort in Danielle Key, Exuma, Bahamas. Inspiration 107.9. Seymour. For info, call 242-357-0116 or call 242-427-8111.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. This is The Rundown with Howard Grant. Grateful to be in your company. Always grateful to jam with you on a day-to-day basis. Happy Wednesday. Happy birthday if you celebrated a birthday also. Happy anniversary, all those particular things. Hey, listen, I never plug this, but I got to let you guys know, if you want to be a part of what we're doing here at The Rundown, please give us a call at ZNS, and we'd be more than happy to accommodate you. I'd love you to kind of sit with me in one of these high chairs. Amen? We'd love to be able to have that kind of a conversation. Well, sitting with me today is none other than my very good friend, Garth Roseborough. And in the midst of this conversation, we started it off by being able to talk about some political anomalies, by being able to identify this in the constituency of Southern Shores, and the leadership that dwell thereof. We've identified the kind of a split in the political organization. We would have heard Leroy Major. Now, let's be decent as we say this. We would have heard Leroy Major indicate that he didn't know he wasn't going to get the nomination. The day he said to me that he asked the Prime Minister directly if he was going to get it. He said that the Prime Minister didn't give him a direct answer at that particular time, and he made this decision to be able to step back. This is the conversation that we had today. The thing is recorded. I got to put it all over the place. And then he indicated to me that he was content in the event that the other opponent, let's be decent, had gotten that particular seat, was ratified for that. But Obi Roberts got that. And so this kind of this tug of war that exists in this particular space, we got to talk about that. Let me know your thoughts.
Well, we saw Leroy Major emerging after a situation where, I don't even want to go down Camp Road, but let's move from Camp Road into Southern Shores, where he became victorious as the candidate for the Progressive Liberal Party. Upon doing so, he was also made the chairman of Bahamas Agricultural and Industrial Corporation. We heard a few rumors that were basically just turning around in the Southern Shores area. It is an area that is agricultural. We have numerous farms in that area, and we understood that he was also involved in the production within that farming belt. When we saw him removed as the chairman of BAIC, in theological terms, we call that the handwriting on the wall.
Jesus.
You're on your way out.
My God.
Now, on the way out simply means that you are losing
But he could
favor.
pray for 15 more years.
Yeah, but 15 more years doesn't necessarily mean good news. It could be extremely devastating news. But in this handwriting on the wall and the moving out of a Leroy Major, we now look at the whole scenario of Jacob and Esau. We see Leroy Major is just a bit irritated at the fact that I am the one that has the birthright. I am Esau. I'm first in line. I've been here. I've been doing the best that I could. You are basically telling me that my best is not good enough, and I am hungry. I need something to eat. Now, I don't know who brought him the bowl of porridge, but the bowl of porridge simply told him, you are not going to be the one.
Let's have an honest conversation here, Garth.
I'm being very straight with you.
But let's talk like this. Political organizations, when you sit in the capacity of an incumbent, never ruffle the feathers of where you sit unless there is something that exists around you. There is a proverbial force field, there's a grouping of people, there is an influence that says we need to move this to be able to have a better chance to do what we need to do as an organization. political organizations never seem or seek to castrate, to be able to dissect, to separate themselves from anyone. Well, let's be very clear. The PLP doesn't have that kind of a history that we can be able to identify, that they simply want to cut you off for cutting you off's sake. This particular administration has identified, and we're going to be clear, 10 people, and this is what I said to Leroy today. This administration, we've been hearing the rumors from 2023, mid-2023 to late 2023. We've been hearing these things. Early 2024, there has been a conversation that popped up in the media with allegations and speculations that says there's a group of people in Bimini get some envelopes. There's a meeting today, my phone blew right up. And telling me that they in Bimini right now, all these things are happening, and the PLP has a desire and a determination to win the next general election.
Okay.
They have done what other administrations within the confines of the PLP have not done. They have done away with this sort of a concept and idea of relationships and understood the responsibility they had to the organization and to winning. They had very clear conversations with persons, and they said, hey, listen, maybe you should take this particular route, maybe you should take this route. The stalwart councillors and other senior persons spoke back. They didn't necessarily deny them, because let's be clear, a great deal of people who've been ratified in certain constituencies, let's be clear, their name was on this list. Now, what has happened with Leroy Major, even though he's been indicating that he's been hijacked by the PLP, and it seems like this was sort of a sore spot for him, and he needed to be able to kind of, okay, this is the straw that breaks the camel's back, you've done enough, and being able to show yourself that do these particular things, and you know what you have done, and he stood up and he spoke today with clarity. This is the straw that broke the camel's back for him. But this issue didn't start with Obi. This issue started with speculations all the way. I told Leroy today, I said, for 8 months, Garth and I have been having conversations about you. I said this to him. He said, oh, I always, he said, Southern Shores is always in there. I said, no, we've been talking about you for almost a year. And we've been talking about this concept and idea that we've heard that you wasn't going to get the nomination. We've heard that. And that coupled with all the salacious concepts and ideas that bubbles and billows out of the constituency. I didn't mention that to him, but if I hear it, I know he hear it. But so I'm asking you whether or not leadership should have this sort of this tense position, this sort of a fragile position, this thin-skinned posture, or whether or not you should understand that sometimes you got to take one for the team. Talk to me about this.
I think it's easier to take one for the team, and I'll tell you why. It was this very same person, Leroy Major, who said that it seems kind of unfair to be a backbencher in the House of Assembly. So if you're now going to run independent, let's just say by the miracle of heaven and earth, you actually are victorious. You tell me, Howard Grant, what part of the bench you can be on?
Back.
You're still on the back bench, and if you couldn't do anything on the back bench now, how the hell?
Yeah, but he there with pride now.
You know, pride.
Yeah.
Bahamas.
He there with pride.
Pride was yesterday 2-4-2. You know, pride. We use a back bencher.
Listen, he there with pride.
There's nothing he would be able to do for Southern Shores as a backbench. He said it himself. There's nothing he can do now, and there's nothing he'll be able to do then. If he's not favored in the Progressive Liberal Party now, how will he ever be favored as an independent if he was victorious for Southern Shores if the PLP is still the government?
Real quick, I believe that in the event that he shows up, there's one or two things going to happen. He's going to be extremely disappointed in the numbers that he gets as it relates to persons who vote for him or don't vote for him. Or he's going to split the PLP's vote and cause the FNM to walk into this particular constituency.
Maybe that's his intention. As other independents, it is their intention.
So a victory doesn't necessarily mean retention of the seat or the retention of this particular position.
The Bahamian people need to understand.
A victory could mean...
What you're saying.
A victory could mean, you know, good afternoon, Branville McCartney, I can say this. I was convinced that we was going for victory at the polls in 2012. I was convinced. But I realized that victory morphed mid-game. And the objective was no longer immediate access and being able to retain these things. We just didn't have the finances to get over certain humps. That's just what it was.
That is the truth.
However, with the retention of 13 seats, 13% of the votes,
you're causing upset.
Hubert Ingram was gone.
Yes.
So victory doesn't always have to look like holding the champion stick, but victory could be this sort of an idea, maybe egotistical, maybe this sort of a revenge concept, but victory could show itself in different forms. So is that what you're saying to me?
So
that his desire could be to upset the apple cart.
So, Mr. Craftiness, you want me really to stick you with it? How many votes do you give Leroy Major in Southern Shores?
Leroy is my friend.
Because I know 100 votes can't split nobody, so you got to give him more than that.
Leroy is my friend.
Okay, let's move the conversation.
Let's leave that right there. In the meantime, outside of the House of Assembly, former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis commented on the sale of the Grand Lucayan resort today, and the subject is a lot of back and forth in recent days, particularly in the face of the reporters deal with the collapse, right? And the project's developer has since refuted such claims, but Dr. Minnis today demanded that the government show me the money. Check this out.
Confidence and authoritative voice said the money is in the bank. I checked, it's not Scotia, it's not Royal, it's not Bank of Bahamas. If the money in the bank, then what's the problem? Show us the money, even show us 10 million, 20 million. You sold it for 120, show us something. So I don't know which bank they're talking about.
Well, I don't know which bank they're talking about either, but the government is content with this particular position. Concord Wilshire this week assured us that it continues to work collaboratively and constructively with the government to redevelop the Grand Lucayan property. The company says that decisions remain active. Discussions are very active and they're proactive, and really being able to do these things and align the objective and to revitalize the belingered property. So it's important that we have a very clear conversation. I want to talk to you about this, Garth. Let's talk to you about this. I said to you, Minnis 4 weeks ago gave us nothing but kicks and giggles on social media.
TikTok, TikTok.
Minnis 4 weeks ago showed us the most recent dances. He lifted the spirits a great deal of persons. He did all these challenges. It was great being able to see him in this particular capacity as an independent candidate.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know whether or not he saw that he had the victory in hand and presented himself as the proverbial hare that just was taking a nap because the tortoise could never reach him. But now, because of the shifting of the game, I'm seeing him formalize himself and present himself in a particular manner. We can get to this Grand Lucayan concept, but I'm watching Minnis formalize this concept, take on this kind of a position, and really be able to speak strength to these positions. I wonder why. Talk to me about it.
Well, definitely it's campaign time. Definitely with the...
But it was campaign time 4 weeks ago.
No, it wasn't campaign time. It was time to simply sit on the dock of the bay. Those were his words, sitting on the dock of the bay. And he said he'll be here sitting on the dock of the bay. And you know the song. All you do is waste time. But the minute an announcement was made, we got to get off the dock. We got to start to get to work.
And that announcement was?
That the PLP had ratified one young, vivacious, vibrant, energetic, very, very confident, I'd say, Robin Dawn Lines for the PLP in...
And I don't know whether or not anything could shift the numbers. And like I said, I just want to be able to have a very clear conversation. I don't know whether or not anything could shift the numbers. We saw Ron Duncombe, in his particular capacity, got 1,900 and I think 40-something votes in the last election. Minnis got 2,500 and won. The other persons collectively got 30 and something like that. And we've identified those things. But when they come back, I want to talk to you a little bit more about these things. Because is this emotional? can you shift the mindset of the people with your words at this particular time? Have you not stained the position of these particular things? Let's just be very clear. Well, have you not stained this? Because you've already then said, no, NPO. These things don't leave the Bahamian conscious, the Bahamian psyche. We're going to be able to take a quick commercial break. When we get back, Garth and I are going to be able to chop this down and really be able to look into this leadership concept after this.
I'm Desmond Saunders. I want you to tune in to the new Weekend Edition, Saturdays and Sundays at 7 p.m., where we have a whole lot of new stuff for you. All right, so I'll give you a sneak preview. Boldly Bahamians, Sizzle Saturdays, Parliamentary Bench, just to name a few. So buckle up and get ready for the ride. Coming this fall, the new Weekend Edition. Stay close.
Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
The internet isn't just for surfing. There's a sea of shoppers buying online, and you can connect with them on Tingsy. Tingsy is the SBDC's online storefront built for Bahamians. Take your business to the next level by selling to customers online, both at home and around the world. People want Bahamian things, and if you got things to sell, sell on Tingsy. Find out how you can connect with a sea of buyers by visiting TingsyBahamas.com.
Shalom, I'm Arthur Bailey, apostle and overseer of Arthur Bailey Ministries and host of Israel International, inviting you to join us for Searching the Scriptures on this station every Sunday at 9 a.m. I look forward to searching the Scriptures with you and your family. That's 9 a.m. on Sunday. Check it out, and your life will never be the same in Yeshua's name.
I have been coming to this island since I was 12 years old. It didn't take me long to realize the rich history it has here. When I bought this island in 2018, I fulfilled a lifelong dream. The goal is not only to preserve the memories I made over those years, but to make new ones, and to give others the opportunity to do the same. As we go through this process, it has become clear to me, we aren't just rebuilding an island, we're reviving a legend.
The thought of colon cancer never really crossed my mind until 2019, when a very good friend of mine was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. I was shocked. Everybody was shocked because he was a picture of perfect health. He was young, athletic, successful, and full of life. Many of us are still in disbelief. I started to question my own health because if it happened to him, surely it could happen to me. Then came the fear, the anxiety, and everything else in between. Facing your own mortality is very sobering. But for me, I decided right then to have a colonoscopy, and I'm glad I did.
Colon cancer is the third most common cancer diagnosed in Bahamian men and women. Fortunately, almost all colon cancers are preventable. A colonoscopy or some other appropriate form of colon cancer screening is recommended for everyone over the age of 45. During a colonoscopy, we can detect and remove colon polyps that may grow and later become colon cancers. Don't wait until you develop symptoms, such as blood in your stool, abdominal pain, a significant change in your bowel habits, or unintentional weight loss. These may all be indications of a severe problem that requires immediate attention. If you're over the age of 45 or have any of those symptoms, talk to your doctor about the benefits of colon cancer screening today.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to The Rundown. I am Howard Grant. We're sitting here with none other than Garth Roseborough, talking foolishness on the break. It's grateful to have you here. Now, we talk about leadership now. Let's just get into this conversation. We got a little time, so I won't be able to break it down.
Okay.
We've already identified this. If you were following us, if you just tuned in, we were just having conversation. We listened to sort of a clipping there from Dr. Minnis and being able to say, where's the money? It's more specifically talking about Grand Dukain and really being able to show up this administration for what they have done or what they haven't done, right? In either particular manner. And as we see that, it seeks to be able to bring light back to his leadership. He also said today that the Marvin Dean story that is floating all around the country would not have made a second news cycle, which brings light back to him in this particular position. And that's a difficult thing for me. I know you don't want to talk about this. I see you back, you didn't get, oh Lord, how would we get? This is information that is in the news cycle on every single network in this country. This is current local communication and local information. Information, if you don't know, as a result of a siege and stopping in the United States of America, right in Fort Lauderdale, 4 miles off the coast, there was a gentleman by the name of Malcolm, oh Lord, I forget his last name, but his first name is Malcolm. He found himself in this kind of a position, being seized. They read him his Miranda rights. They found 220 kilos of cocaine on his boat and 240-some cough syrup, which they use to make a substance that young people call lean. He's an activist. So he put Sprite in it, and anyway, I can't tell other people all this stuff, but this is what it is. It's an activist. They use that. Smuggling it in to the United States of America. And on due diligence and being able to identify these particular things, we would have heard the rumors about an affiliation, an association, and then a news release comes out from the ratifying candidate for the constituency of Mount Moriah in the person of Marvin Dames. Now, this story is peculiar. As we're looking at this and we identify these particular things, the story is a peculiar story. We don't understand it, but he distanced himself from not necessarily his business partner. Mr. Malcolm was his business partner, but distanced himself from Mr. Malcolm's action and saying that we had no affiliation with these things and no awareness with that. There's a great deal of speculations talking about what Marvin Dean should do or he should not do at this particular point. But if we're going to be very clear and honest with this, as we're looking at this and we're making this kind of a determination and identifying this, for Minnis to be able to say that this wouldn't make a second news cycle, it's very peculiar, Dr. Minnis. I said to you that he seeks to be able to formalize himself and resurge himself and revive himself as a proverbial strong leader. He wants you to be able to, he wants to paint this in your memory, in your mind. Whatever negative that he would have done, yeah, let's do away with that. But remember my strength. This would not have made a second news cycle, but that's peculiar. Because if I remember correctly, Howard Grant, Marvin Dames was in the courts prior, under his administration, in the capacity as Minister of National Security for the Barbara Hanna issue. And that made 1, 2, 3 numerous news cycles. Am I correct? Mm-hmm. Numerous news cycles. Now, I believe the saving grace for Dr. Dwayne Sands, who was also implicated in this particular thing, would have been the affiliation of Marvin Deans, who may have been the saving grace at that time. Because independently, when Dr. Dwayne Sands had his issue, he was gone. When Peter Turnquest, in his particular capacity as Deputy Prime Minister, had his issue, his little debacle and the issues that they were kind of tussling with and dealing with from a personal standpoint, he was gone. So how can now we go back to Dr. Minnis' leadership and make this kind of determination that this would make it? What is he trying to say from a leadership standpoint? What does he want the people to see? Is this a ploy, a position to be able to project in the minds of the Bahamian people of the strength of his leadership in comparison to the strength of the leadership that exists there? Or is he making a run for this sort of an idea to say that, I still good for you guys, you know, come check me out? What is he saying? Talk to me.
Oh, Howard.
I know you was in here.
Howard.
God, this to run down.
Boy,
let's run it down.
You're trying to run me out of town. Listen, man, I like where you were going with the narrative because he's making mention of the Grand Lucayan deal. And we want to know what is the merit in him doing that, right? Now,
it needs to stop.
That particular type conversation.
His administration paid $1 million a month for the Grand Lucayan. Purchased it, didn't have anything set, they didn't sell it. All of these things gone. All of these things would have gone through. I ain't fighting Dr. Minnis. I'm only telling you what exists on paper, what exists in the annals of time and history, and what you cannot refute. Even though you seek to kind of project the concept in the people mind, we accept that. We understand that you're under tremendous pressure in Kalani, but you ain't running for prime minister no more. You're only dealing with Kalani. And so it's incumbent upon you in your particular capacity, though you were the former prime minister, to recognize that this fight is in Kalani. Because if you continue to be able to speak in this manner, we're going to have to be able to regurgitate and bring back some things that aren't necessarily the nicest. It ain't the nicest thing or the most pleasant thing to say. Talk to me.
What you're not bringing to the people tonight, Howard Grant, is that in the words of Dr. Minnis, I don't lay pipe, I pump iron. Now, right now, he's pumping iron when he should be laying pipe. I'm just being real. You see, because the laying of the pipe happens in Kalani, but when you want to pump iron, you're trying to tell everybody. I look at that leadership. This ain't no time to pump no iron. You got to start laying this pipe. Now, Robin Lyons has...
Pumping the iron is preparation. Laying the pipe is execution.
I don't know what y'all fellas do. I innocent in this land. Okay, so, you know, I try to keep things...
I talk a gym talk now. I don't know what he talking about. Let's go ahead.
But listen, man, the truth be told is that his narrative has changed since the entry of the ratified candidate for the PLP. Why all of a sudden the conversation about the Grand Lucayan, when this has been occurring over the last year or so? Now he's talking about situations.
His administration
in the country,
did nothing with the Grand Lucayan.
And he's talking about current
His administration did absolutely nothing with the Grand Lucayan.
We understand that, Howard. But once again, he's seeking
the Grand Lucayan sits in the midst of a debacle in Grand Bahama that the Prime Minister seeks to be able to rectify, not only with the Port Authority, but also with the environment itself, prone to hurricanes, going through trial and tribulation. The Grand Lucayan is just another one of a succession of issues that happen in Grand Bahama.
Howard.
The Ginsuma, Cub Fortuna, what else? Castaway would breaking down and they have to be able to retain that. But listen, Grand Bahama is not, it doesn't begin and end in Grand Lucayan, in the Grand Lucayan or the Lucayan Hotel in Port Lucayan. In fact, if you walk right across the street from the Grand Lucayan, there is a marketplace with over 120 people who are in a unified themselves to be able to talk about they're seeking to get lower rent because the foot traffic had moved from Grand Lucayan to Celebration Key. The conversation for survival doesn't begin and end with the Grand Lucayan. The government's responsibility is to be able to jumpstart the economic engine that exists in Grand Bahama, and they have to do that. But this kind of a conversation, relentlessly talking about where Concord Wilshire will be able to take it or not. Listen to me, if I was an investor, I would do the same thing. I just want to be very clear with you. It is a beautiful property. It's strategically located, geographically located close to the United States of America. People could hop over from South Florida. This is absolutely beautiful. When I worked at the Grand Lucayan, we'll have 3,000 check-ins a day. We was making money, but things around the world was good. After 2008, the recession, after the hurricane 2004, after all these things, Grand Bahama did not catch itself. It just did not. Minnis knows that because he was in the midst of that, even in the midst of a recession. So why perpetuate this sort of an idea that is lay everything on the shoulders of an administration? You need to stop. This is disingenuous.
Howard, the statements that he's making is not meant to be corrective. You know that. I know that.
Yeah, but it has to be.
The people of the Bahamas know. The statements here are meant to put a distance between Robin Don Lyons and himself for the victory of Kalani.
So he's seeking to remind people.
Yes.
He's seeking to remind people that I was the Prime Minister. Meanwhile.
Yes.
Meanwhile, on Mackey Street, people are floating rumors around that they take Minnie's picture down.
Yeah.
The window broke. Somebody break the window with Minnie's picture on Mackey Street. But I'm saying to you, whilst the organization that you would have come from, the organization that propelled you to the position of leadership in this country, is trying to be able to distance themselves from you, you seeking to remind the country and your constituents in Kalani that I was the Prime Minister.
So we go back now to the narrative of Leroy Major versus O.B. Roberts. This ain't got nothing to do with the party. This has nothing to do with the government. This has nothing to do with national leadership. What this has to do with is, remember who I was, remember now who I am, look at her, look at me, who is the one that you would choose?
None of this is gonna
and he's saying to him, I have that authority, I have that ability, I have that knowledge. I understand how this works. I can tell you about the Grand Bahama deal. I can tell you about when things are nefarious in this country and how things should work. I am the one who's learned. I am the one with the black book and the red book. I have secrets. I could tell you some things. This is Hubert Alexander, Minister, former Prime Minister, versus a young Robin Don Lyons, who is an attorney at law, who failed as chairman of the Progressive Labour Party and coming to challenge me. He's trying to make a statement for victory. That's all this is. And worst case scenario, like you would say, Robin may win, but he sure as hell know it ain't gonna be them. Now you know who them is. I mean, that's the same story of Leroy Major and O.B. Roberts.
Now we gotta be able to have a show about these independents, because is the objective leadership, is the objective acquisition, or is the objective eradication of a political organization? And we know that a great deal of people who support the Free National Movement also are persons who sort of shift with concepts and ideas and are willing to give other persons, fringe organizations, a try. When historically, traditionally, when persons vote for these fringe organizations or these independents, it's normally out of the support bucket of the Free National Movement.
That is correct.
Out of the support bucket of the Free National Movement.
That is correct.
If you're a learned politician and you pay enough attention and you seek to be able to go independent, you know that. I don't care how popular you is, you may get 1,000 votes, 1,200 votes, but no cigar. Many times, no cigar. You got to get finances and give these assurances that you could be able to get over that hump. In fact, historically, how independents found themselves victorious outside of Long Island, let's be very careful, because Larry Cartwright got his victory as an independent because the people of Long Island said we wanted him for the Free National Movement. And so they cut a deal, hey, you gonna do this after we put you in.
Oh, Whitney Bastian got in on the merits of the PLP. What you
okay, so
about?
so I'm saying to you, outside of that, for independents to be able to find their victory,
they gotta align themselves.
Not only align themselves, the political organization, for the most part, has to say, we ain't gonna run nobody
against you,
and we'll be able to show our support behind you.
That's what happens.
That's what happens.
Yes.
So if you are an independent, you ain't got your own money, and you don't have no political backing, you could get 1,000, 1,200, maybe even 1,300 votes, but no cigar. And that's what's happening here. But it will always, relentlessly be, like at the top of our conversation, with the DNA, it will always be in the upset of a particular political organization. And if I'm going to be honest with you, these independents are showing themselves strong, whether the coalition of independents, whether it be the independent candidates, whether it be any of these fringe organizations or individuals who seek to be able to run, their alignment and their voting bloc is outside of, it's coming out of the Free National Movement. The PLP's base is still intact for the most part.
Please appreciate, Howard, that most Bahamian people understand politics extremely well. They know factually that there are only really and truly two parties in this country.
Yeah.
But their understanding of the God that they serve, may not be your God, but the God that they serve, they feel that once they pray, especially during this Lenten season, that God is going to prevail and they're going to be victorious. Upon losing, like some people that we know who has the party, who's lost on more than 3, 4, 5 occasions, and still trying on this occasion, would say to you, oh, God was trying to tell me next time, not this time. And
this was 6 or 7 next time.
This is what happened.
Which God we listening to? We can need this.
So
you need to get a new tune in.
So wisdom says, based on what you just said, you need to find a way to align yourself with one of the major entities. You have to go in Trojan horse. And if you can't infiltrate into a major party and gain their favor, as we've seen where the Leroy Majors have gained favor, lost favor, still trying to be favored, and ain't no one looking in their favor, you are out of favor, trying to get favor, but you don't want to go into the favorite house. You got to be kidding me.
But in yes, out of favor, we are the time. This was a very good conversation.
But I'm your favorite guy. That's why you keep calling me on a Wednesday night. Okay, I don't want them sing now.
I'm not going to fight you, right?
You call me, I come.
It was a wonderful conversation. Tonight we're just talking about leadership. It has nothing to do with individuals. It has, these are the persons who have presented themselves accordingly to be able to articulate their leadership and to be able to make you to understand what they've done or haven't done. And so based upon historic context and access that we have, we got to be able to talk about this. And we got to get the rundown on these particular concepts. So we talked about Leroy Major and we talked about Dr. Hubert Minnis. And this is what we're going to do in this political season. We got to dissect, trisect, and bisect, whatever we got to do to identify whether or not this is the leadership that we're looking for in the next dispensation of the Bahamas. Garth, I want to thank you, my brother, for being able to sit with me.
It's been a pleasure.
You're a good, decent man.
Have a good night.
Great show, guys. Going to be right back. We got a special segment in store for you right after this.
Cabinet Office wishes to advise the general public that daylight savings time will commence on Sunday, the 8th of March at 2 a.m. and will continue until 2 a.m. on Sunday, the 1st of November, 2026.
Hi, I'm Brent from CBS Bahamas. Listen, if you're a contractor or tradesman, you want to be a part of our Preferred Contractors Program. By enrolling in our Preferred Contractors Program, you'll save 10% automatically at both of our locations. And guess what? The more you spend, the more you save. That discount can increase. Register today at cbsbahamas.com/register using your trade name to be automatically enrolled.
Did you know that if a fire starts in your home, you may have as little as 2 minutes to escape? Keep your family and home safe with these few fire safety preparation and prevention tips. Ensure that your home has working smoke detectors. They will alert you if there is smoke and fire in your home. Install a smoke detector on every level of your home, inside each bedroom and outside each sleeping area. Test smoke detectors every month and change the batteries every 6 months. Home fires can spread rapidly and every second counts. Create an escape plan and practice it with everyone in your home. Make sure everyone can safely escape in less than 2 minutes. Keep escape routes as clutter-free as possible so no one trips or falls on the way out during an emergency. In addition to smoke detectors, fire extinguishers is an important device to have on hand. To use a fire extinguisher, remember the acronym PASS. Pull the pin, aim the nozzle, squeeze the handle, and sweep from side to side at the base of the fire. We must all do our parts to ensure that our families and homes are safe in the event a fire occurs. On behalf of the Commissioner of Police, the Director of Fire Services, and all officers of the Fire Department, let's work together to help prevent fires, because fire safety is everyone's responsibility, and the life you save may be your own.
Abuse, domestic violence, suicidal tendencies. Are you being stressed out from these problems? Call the national hotline at 422-2763 or 322-2763. There are trained social workers available 24 hours to help you. Know that you are not alone in this.
Hello, my name is Talia Rowe, and I'm a sunflower at NCA. We learn and do fun activities. Come along and join us.
Become a member of one of our groups today. Sunflowers, ages 5 and 6 years. Brownies, ages 7 to 10 years. Rangers, ages 14 to 17 years. And Guiders, age 18 and older. For more information, call 322-4342 or 356-5143. This public service announcement was brought to you by the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
And we are back. Welcome back to the Rundown. We got a special segment for you. All the way from the Ministry of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting Department of Gender and Family Affairs is none other than the chairperson for the National Women's Advisory Council, Sophia Thompson-Williams, and Akira B. Gabriel. Sitting here with us. I try to get the names right, make sure I get it together. It's so wonderful to see you. You got some great stuff coming up this week. Talk to me about it.
Absolutely, and thank you so much for having us on tonight.
You look beautiful tonight.
Thank you very
Gotta get my
much.
orange jacket. Okay, go ahead, right?
We have been planning for the past 6 months, Howard, a series of events leading up to International Women's Day, which, of course, as you know, takes place on the 8th of March, which is, you know, a few Sundays away. And so we've planned on Friday, the 27th of February, our official opening and launch, which will be taking place at 11 a.m. at Bahamas Harvest Church. Now that event,
my church, by the way, just to let you know. Go ahead.
That event is free of charge, and so we're inviting
at 11 a.m.
At 11 a.m. and we're inviting everyone to come out and be a part of the official opening ceremony and launch. And I say and launch because we have a special keynote address which will be given by noted attorney Marian Bethel.
Oh, really?
And she, of course, is the elected commissioner at the Inter-American Human Rights Commission. And so this is a very, very important role that a Bahamian woman has been elected to.
This is exciting. So this is something that you've done. How many years you've been doing this now for National Women's Day, you said?
International Women's Day is one of those special days, Howard, that the United Nations has, and countries around the world observe those days. And one such day is the International Women's Day. When we focus on the woman, when we recognize distinguished women, when we empower women, when we promote women and things pertaining to women. But in our case, all of our activities
does this
are
extend
gender
into the household also?
neutral.
Does my wife run my life today?
Absolutely. All of
Today's Women's Day.
Yes. All of these events that we've planned are gender neutral. And so we're inviting the entire family, as a matter of fact. So men can come and so can teenagers, children are invited to attend. And so that event is taking place at Bahamas Harvest on the 27th.
On the 27th
That's
at 11
Friday.
a.m. It's totally free if you want to be able to be there. Tell me about some other events that you
The next event is the Empowerment Symposium, and that is an all-day event that's taking place.
Empowerment Symposium.
Yes, also at Bahamas Harvest. And at that event, which begins at 8:30 in the morning and goes through until 4:30. We begin, of course, with several sessions, starting with the health and wellness session. We are focusing on mental wellness. And so we have about 5 to 6 experts in the field of mental health and wellness, which is led by Dr. Davina Knowles Robinson and psychiatric nurse Mrs. Jacqueline Barnaby. And there will be psychologists and psychiatrists who will be conducting that particular session.
I'd like to ask some questions about that. You know, I just get deep into these things. I really enjoy this type of stuff. Mental health and wellness, when you start to have this kind of a conversation, more specifically about women, to identify that statistically, why would you go in that particular direction? Has there been so much evolving information to indicate that there's
women and
issues?
men? Remember what we said a minute ago, Howard. This is not just about women. This is about our nation. This is about issues that affect everyone. This is about about us looking around our country and seeing that there are some issues that we have. And so we need to have a conversation around these issues. And so we're bringing these issues to the fore, but we're bringing them through the experts who work in those areas, who are trained, who have experience, who can tell us what is going on and perhaps how they go about treating and bringing about a change in those areas. As we drive around the streets in Nassau, we see so many people walking the streets. We don't know why. And so we have to look at the experts and to determine what is going on. Why is there so much people who seem to be unwell? And even in our workplaces, in our homes, there may be people who are functioning at a certain level, and then on another day,
we learned a new concept now, and we have put a lot of people on the spectrum. This is not something that we would have done in the past. We just identified you in a particular category, and we say, okay, that's it. But now we're seeing now people,
there's treatment.
And then we may make light of it, and so this one laying prostrate on the spectrum, right? Or whatever these particular things is. But it's very important, and I want to be able to commend you
that
for
we
being able to take on
diagnose,
this.
that we talk about it.
This is good stuff.
Conversation.
So, Ms. Gabriel, tell me about your expertise in these particular areas and what you would have done or what you're going to be focusing on coming into this thing.
Thank you. So, during the Saturday symposium, as Madam Chair had indicated, we have several events going on. One of those sessions is the legal session, where we will be providing, my team and I will be providing legal advice for members of the public. Please come out. This is time
so
for you.
Let me hear what you do. Okay, so now let me break this down as a man, because you're talking to a man. You're breaking this down as a man. Let's go to church and ask Jesus. Jesus, we can be able to make sure. The second session we can do empowerment. Women, you all can do this. Third section. Now, if you can't do it, we get lawyers for you. Talk to me about this.
We understand, and the reason for this segment is the fact that we understand that persons usually seek legal information when a crisis happens, and our role is to prevent that. We want to bring information to the public to let them know what rights they have afforded to them, what protection measures are available to them, what next steps to take when they are faced in a particular crisis. And so this segment is not just theoretical, it's practical.
Talk to me about some examples and bring that kind of a practical.
So we have various topics that we're going to be addressing. Domestic violence, which everyone knows is a key critical area that we face in our community. Juvenile justice. Why are so many of our juveniles faced with matters before the court, and they probably don't even know the
not concentrate on just women?
No.
Everybody, it's everybody.
We also have matters relating to employment law, insurance, custody and maintenance.
It's heavy what you're doing.
Yes.
So if your mother died or your daddy
bills
died,
and estates,
and you're supposed to leave something for you,
landlords and tenants,
and the insurance people doing this and this, you can help them.
We are bringing the information to. Listen to me.
This is a long session.
It takes.
People can be there for 2 days.
And the beautiful part about it. Time does not permit us to get into the deep issues, and so we have breakout sessions available.
Really?
Where you
so I have a concentrate area that
please come, bring your questions. We can provide you with the legal assistance, expertise.
So this has got to be more than once a year. It got to be able to. It got to be more than once a year.
It has to be.
At least once a quarter.
Yes.
At least once a quarter. And be able to, but then, you know, maybe have women protest and just leave that. I'm not cooking today. I'm leaving.
This is my legal right.
This is too much. This is too much. I gotta keep my wife. I come into the session too.
Please.
I can be right there with my wife.
Yes.
I have to tell her, hey, listen, not this party. This ain't for you. Right?
We believe that legal literacy is empowerment. Once persons know what their rights are, they are empowered to make the necessary changes that we actually want to see in this society, and those are the positive ones.
I like that. So tell me more about, okay, so you got the empowerment session, you got church, we got the empowerment session. On the Saturday, we're going to be able to have the legal session.
All day.
What else is in there? I like you talking about health and wellness. What else are you going to be dealing with?
We're dealing with finance, which is very important. I like to repeat after the chairperson of that particular session, Cleora Farquharson, and she says, we are taking finance from birth to death. And beyond.
And beyond.
And beyond.
Death and
that we are
beyond.
talking about succession planning there.
Yes.
And beyond, after you would have demised.
I can say something to
we're leaving something for the next generation and the next.
And it's free.
We haven't in this society really focused on legacy.
No.
We have casual conversations about it. We know that it exists from a biblical standpoint. We understand the principles thereof.
Yes.
For the most part, we separate ourselves from that because we see ourselves, many of us, not all of us, many of us, as working class.
Yes.
And that's for them.
Yes.
You know, that's them people. Right? And they normally put a hue to it.
Yes.
Right? But the truth is that this legacy conversation is crucial.
Yes.
And being able to understand how to deal with money. Because the truth, if we can be honest, anytime any of us need money, we always go to the woman of the house.
Yes.
Grammy.
Oh, absolutely.
I can need a little thing.
And
Grammy got it in a
right in the bra.
And so that session is going to teach us not just about budgeting and financial planning, but it will also teach us about legacy for the second, third, and fourth generation.
This is exciting.
All right.
This is exciting stuff. I got to be able to say this to you, and I want to commend you for being able to take on this, and also I want to be able to speak right to your minister and say that this is crucial, and if you're going to be doing this, expand it also to International Men's Day. You know, David Williams
we do have international.
They like to hear me, right?
Uh-huh.
But you got to be able to expand this, and you should be able to do this once a quarter. If we're going to truly empower people, it has to be expansive.
Yes.
It shouldn't just be this sort of a concentrate area.
And it
I want to
goes
thank
right
you
into
so
our
kindly.
themes.
I want to thank you guys so kindly for being able to do that with us and being able to sit with us, Chairperson Sophia Thompson-Williams, and also Akira Gabriel.
Yes.
Yeah, let your husband know I get a name. That's a wonderful thing, guys. That does it for the rundown this evening. Be sure that you stay locked in at ZNS Network for the Bahamas tonight at 11 p.m. It's our final newscast in the country with the latest in news and information with Corville Pryfrom. From all of us here at ZNS, I'm Howard Grant. Thanks for joining.
At Bahamar Boulevard, I'm Sean Innes. This is ZNS.
You and Your Money is brought to you by Central Bank of the Bahamas, the Parliamentary Registration Department, and FOCAL. Welcome to You and Your Money. Tonight we look at highlights of a presentation by Chris Earle, Chief Executive Officer of the